Yo, what's up? How's everybody doing? Um, Today is going to be quite interesting. We are going to do a live with just me, unless we have some of our buddies that are going to come and join us. We shall see. Right now, everybody is busy, but we always got to keep on bringing the AC Milan content. It is our duty. Our last video was actually what happened? There was a copyright claim or something, so the YouTube police didn't allow us to post our last video with Jan and Laert. We were watching a video of I don't know, some Premier League shit, and fucking Premier League, they decided to target us. But anyway, what I'm going to do today is go over some of the Milan news that has happened this week, and then I am going to clip that shit. How about that? Okay. Let's get started. And right now, as I am live, we also have Dortmund and Manchester City going at it. And then we have Real Madrid and Liverpool, which who knows what's going on there. Let me check. Right now, Dortmund is beating Manchester United 1-0, so it's 2-2 aggregate. Right now, Dortmund is going through. Right now, the Germans are going through, and Guardiola's billion-dollar team, his billion-dollar team, is about to get kicked out by the little youngsters of Dortmund. Anyway, we still have another half to see whatever happens. But as of now, as we speak, Dortmund is going through, and Man City is out. Let's see what Real Madrid is doing. Those guys there, the Blancos. Hala Madrid, my ass. Still 0-0 at Anfield. Real Madrid, obviously, with a 1-3 aggregate. Oh well. Anyway, let's read some of these news items. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to do some news items here, and then I'm probably going to clip them and just put them out later on. We just got to keep on creating content. You know, we got to keep on creating content. We want to make this channel grow, and you know, and give you AC Milan content. That's really what we want to do. So, first thing I want to talk about, actually, is this. It is a little game that we're playing at the RossonARI TV headquarters, which are in 4 different locations, but specifically one. But what we're doing is we're going to do a poll. We're going to do a formation, a RossonARI TV AC Milan formation based out of you know, AC Milan legends and a current player, a player that is currently playing right now in the team. So right now, what we did, we started with the goalkeeper position. I had Dida there, Abbiati, Donnarumma, who is the current player, and who else? Sebastiano Rossi. One thing I want to say about Sebastiano Rossi is that Sebastiano Rossi has one of the records. I believe he has the record. He's either top 1 or top 2. I'm not really sure. Of less of no goals conceded. The most amount of minutes with no goals conceded. So we shall see what happens here. What's up, Skillard? Skillard asks, what happened to the watch along of Classic Game? They're gonna come, you know. Look, we we have to grow as a channel. We're still in the growth period of this channel, and we gotta, because we don't live in the same city, we all live in different time zones. It's just difficult sometimes to get the whole squad together. But we will do a watch along, and the one I want to do is the Milan Inter one, the one that was that ended like 6-0 or 6-2. I can't remember what it was, but something like that, where we get a lot of goals. That's what I want to do. Milan Inter, or Inter Milan, the one with Serginho just killing that wing. Anyway, going back to the competition right now, so far Dida looks like he is going to be the player that is going to win the goalkeeper spot. So the RossonARI TV family has already chosen Dida is the player, our goalkeeper. Today we're going to bring up a new one. So we're going to go for the right back position. Let's see, we're going to have Calabria. Obviously, he's the starter player right now. We are going to have Cafu. We are going to have Tassotti. And then another right back. Who could we put else right back there? We had Panucci, was very good. Oddo. Helveg. I'm not sure. I guess we'll figure that out. But I already know who's going to win. I'm pretty sure Cafu is going to take the right back position. It's going to be between Cafu and Calabria. Those two players are probably going to get the right back position. Anyway, so watch out for that. We're going to send that poll out today. The goalkeeper is Dida. He has been chosen. Calabria or Cafu are probably going to be the next options. Okay, so let's look at what AC Milan is doing in preparation of this game. Right now, they are in training mode. So let's read some news items. And again, my plan is to just do these news items live with whoever is watching, and then I'm going to cut and clip them. But let's see what Milan is up to. All right, now let me make sure you are seeing what I see. Yes, sir. Milan working on tactics and possession. Skillard says, Cafu for now, Calabria, great potential, but still has long way to go. Yeah, I mean, Cafu, I believe Cafu has participated in 3 World Cups and has won 2. He won in '94. He got into the final of '98, and he won in 2002. So I mean, that pretty much seals it. I don't think people are going to vote Calabria over Cafu, but if Calabria can win 2 World Cups and a bunch of Champions Leagues and Scudettis, hey, cheers to that. Cheers to that. What's up, Joel? Joel says the UCL and Man City just don't go together. It is true. It's just, is this about tradition? Is it about just the club and how their philosophy? Because it's been like that since the beginning, since we've seen Manchester City in the Champions League, since they were bought by these rich individuals, and they spent all this money on this team. We've never seen a team that really translated in a dominant fashion in Europe, right? Not the way Barcelona does, or Real Madrid, or AC Milan used to do. So it is pretty interesting, and I think Man City is a great example of a team that you can put in billions. You can get Guardiola, you can get Michael Jordan, you can get Muhammad Ali, you can get Einstein, you can get whoever the hell you want. It does not matter. It comes down to the mentality, whatever the team projects, whatever the fans project. I I think it has to be that. It just has to be that. I don't see any other reason. It's part. It has to be part of your tradition. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Joel, they're like England's version of Juve. Yes, but Juve actually, check this out. Let me talk about Juve a little bit. Actually, no, now that you bring that up, I want to show you something. Or whoever is watching, I want to show you guys something. Juventus's coefficient in the Champions League is top 3, top 2. Okay? Well, I won't show you. I'll just tell you. So we're talking about a team that that in its history has is one of the teams that has won the most games in the Champions League, is one of the teams that has scored the most goals in the Champions League. It's one of the teams that has conceded, I think, not conceded, but is one of the teams that has also lost a lot of games. But we're talking about a team with a coefficient that should correspond to at least 5 or 6 Champions League wins. With Juventus, it's just the final. That's what they always screw up. They get to the final and then they screw it up. And that's just the way it is. But that's where Juventus has a problem. The finals. I mean, look at the 90s. They got, what, 4 finals in a row and only won 1. Then in 2000s, they got to 3 finals. Into 3 finals. Hey, let me see what these guys say. EPL clubs are overhyped. Yes, they are, 100%. Big up Roy, wrong time, mate. It's CL. Well, I am watching the Champions League right now. I got 2 screens. I got Liverpool, Real Madrid on this side, and I got Bayern, Liverpool. Sorry, I got. Oh, now we're showing both. Oh, I'm seeing highlights. But I have Dortmund, Manchester United on this side, and I have Liverpool, Real Madrid on this side. So I'm scanning. I'm always scanning. But guys, again, what I have to do is I have to bring up some content because we have our usual Wednesday podcast, and the guys aren't available. But damn it, this is church. AC Milan is church. I do not miss church, guys. You see this hat? I do not miss church. All right, let's keep on going. I'm glad PSG won against Bayern. They won't get 7 UCLs this season and catch Milan. Yes, good point, Pavlo Diak. Good point. I don't like to see that. Man, Milan has some work to do. Milan has what? We need to win at least 3 Champions Leagues in the next 6 years. In the next 6 years, we need to win 3 Champions Leagues, otherwise Bayern will surpass us. Liverpool is getting too close. Barcelona is getting close. Real Madrid is beyond the mountains. We can't see them. We need to get to them. Right now, Milan is in a very important position in its history in order to maintain its tradition and its hierarchy in how the European teams are seen as far as the Champions Leagues go. So Paolo Maldini, do your job. You're doing a great job. Excellent. All right. Milan channels need to stop talking about Juve till they win the same number of UCL. Okay, check this out. If Milan had Juventus's coefficient in the Champions League, we would be like at 10. We would have 10. We would have 10 of them, or even more. That's the thing. Casemiro has been a beast against Liverpool so far. Casemiro is a beast. Is a beast in general. I heard a very interesting story about Casemiro when he did a tryout. So Casemiro started off as a striker, and he did this tryout. I believe it was in Brazil, and it was in order to get into a team. It was his attempt trying to become a professional football player, soccer player, and in the tryout, when they organize the players in different positions, usually when you're doing tryouts or when you're doing coaching sessions, you say, okay, defenders over here, midfielders over here, strikers over here. So at that point, whoever was running that tryout session called out all the strikers come over here, midfielders come over here, defenders come over here, and everybody went where the strikers were. So everybody was a striker, and Casemiro said, well, I'll be a midfielder, and that's going to give me a better chance to win me a spot in this team. So you see a little bit of intelligence there got him through the door. So that's a very interesting anecdote about Casemiro. RossonARI non TV. Yeah, fuck you, so I'm going to church. Yes, baby. Church. La Chiesa di Milanello. All right. Now, we have spoken a lot about that stuff. Let's look at what Milan is doing right now in training. So we have a game against Genoa coming up. It should be a pretty interesting game. We're going to go through the stats. But let's look at what the team has been working on in training. The session began with a warm-up. This was 2 days ago. The session began with a warm-up using low obstacle and training dummies. Then the group moved on to work with the ball before the tactical section of training. There was a focus on possession of the ball with a series of drills on a reduced pitch and also technical exercises. And then the coach gave them the day off. So today, I believe, they are off. Let's see what the guys are looking like. The mood of the players. Oh, Romagnoli is back, right? We have Romagnoli back in action. So let's see if he can regain his starting position, possibly with Tomori, because I believe what Pioli wants to do is to just do this turnover between Kjaer and Romagnoli just to make sure that they don't get injured. Kalulu had a great interview with the AC Milan guy, so we're going to look at that. Yeah, nice. The guys are focused. Leão, no matter what, always got the smile. These are the drills. Those are for leg. Nice. Good. So the guys are focused. Let's hope we get a result, because these games are going to be crucial. And if we lose a bunch of points in these upcoming games, guys, it's going to look ugly, all right? It's going to look ugly. Kessie is like a modern-day version of Yaya Touré. Yaya Touré was one of my favorite players when he was in his prime. I wish Yaya Touré would have come to AC Milan. I see Kessie as a player that as a world international kind of player, and when I see Kessie, I see a player that is capable of winning the Champions League, because he's a player that is not scared, and that's the thing. That's the key in Europe, is no fear. You go in Europe and you must not play with fear. And Kessie, it seems like no matter who he's playing against, it's always him. He doesn't change his game. He doesn't get nervous. He doesn't get too excited. It's always him. He always stays himself. Head-to-head against Genoa is really ugly. Really? Fabian, give us the numbers. I'm very curious. To break this home from curse, the team needs a round trip on a plane. Skillard with the comedy. This is funny. To break this home from curse, the team needs a round trip on a plane a day before the game to give them the away feeling. Isco rumors are getting linked very strongly day by day. Looks like Milan are really interested at him. I mean, Isco is a player and a half. If Isco would come to AC Milan, we would have an absolute champion. Let's just look at Isco's sheet. Let's look at his stats and what they look like. We're talking about a winner, a champion. All right, here we go. Isco. He started from the under 26. I usually like to see this. Usually this is a good indicator of what a player is going to look like. And that's what I do a lot with the Italian players, with AC Milan players. I look at their national experience, because if you are continuously a player that is selected in the national team, that means that you are one of the best players in your age group when you're young, amongst thousands and thousands of players. So you're a very unique player. So he started his career in the national team at under 26 all the way to under 23. Under 23 is Olympics. Yeah, that's right. You see, Olympics. Under 21, I think he won it once. He won against us, against Italy, against Insigne, remember? He won with Spain. Let's see what he won with Spain. So he won the league. He won 2 Ligas, 1 Copa del Rey, 2 Supercopa de España, UEFA Champions League. He's already banked 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yo, this motherfucker's got 4 Champions Leagues. Yo, Seedorf had 4 Champions League. UEFA Super Cup, he's got 3. FIFA Club World Cup, he's got 4. Mamma mia. World Cup under 17, 3rd place. This was the one he won against my Italy. Oh, that pieces. Individual, yeah. I was under the impression he won with the national team. He did not. He wasn't part of the national team that won the Euros. Interesting. Quite interesting. That is quite interesting. I was actually 100% sure he had won with the Spanish team. So I guess he does not have that in his bag. Really? Oh, okay. Well, club-wise, he's absolutely magnificent. So I would love to have Isco at AC Milan. He's if Real Madrid wants to get rid of him, let's take him. All right, let's move on to some other news items. Let's see what's next, and then I'm going to come to your comments. Let's look at what the last AC Milan training day looked like, and then we're going to look at the Genoa Milan. We're going to preview this game and see what's going on there. I think that AC Milan has a big advantage. Actually, let's do that right now. All right, let's start with the table. So as you guys can see, let me make this bigger so you guys can see. For our friends, our Milanisti across the world, it's finally we have AC Milan channels in English, so we can enjoy Milan in different languages too. All right, here we go. So Inter, I would say, actually, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Inter has pretty much sealed it? It's done? It's over, game over? I think that it is, to be honest with you. I don't think Inter is I think Inter is forward enough. They would have to lose a lot of games to get caught up. All right, so let's look at Milan. Let's start with AC Milan, and then let's go to Genoa. Here we go. Milan, 63 points, 30 games played, 19-1 total, 6 ties, 5 losses. So as far as losses, Milan is in 3rd position. So Inter has lost only 2 games. Juventus has lost only 4 games, but Juventus has tied a lot of games. Milan has lost 5 games. So we are third there with Napoli as far as lost games. But this is one of the stats that AC Milan we've been looking at recently, which is kind of a problem. Look at that one right there. Home games played, 15 home games played, 6 games won out of 15. No bueno. That is less than 50%. That is no good at all. That's about what, 40% of the games. 5 ties and 4 losses. Away from home, we have 13 wins, which is excellent. Look at that. 13 wins out of 15 played. 1 tie, 1 loss. And then I like to see this. This is always a good indicator of how a team is doing. Goals for, goals against. Milan has 57 goals. Right now, Milan is probably in the top 5 as goals scored. So Atalanta is number 1. Inter is number 2. Napoli is number 3. Juventus is number 4. Milan number 5. So we are 5th in goals scored. We should be doing better. Okay, goals against. This one has always been a big indicator of who wins the Serie A. Maybe here's a fun fact for a lot of people that might not know. 99% of the time in Italy, 99.99999% of the time of Italy, the team that concedes the least amount of goals usually always wins the league. And you'll say, well, obviously, Roy, that's common sense. But actually, if you look at other leagues, that is not the case. It's just something that has been particular in Italy. So let's see. Milan is at 35 goals against. Let's see where they are ranked. So Inter and Juventus are tied in first spot for the least amount of goals conceded. Then you have Napoli at number 2. You have Milan at number 3, which is not bad. It's not bad. And then you have Atalanta, Lazio at 30. Well, actually, Verona has also 35 goals. Verona defensively doing pretty good. Well, good for them. All right, so that's Milan. Let's look at what Genoa. Let's see who we're going up against. Genoa, 13th spot. All right, so they're just playing not to be relegated at this point, or they're just playing to stay there, to stay in the Serie A, pretty much. 30 games played, 32 points. So pretty almost half the points that we have. 7 goals, 7 wins, 11 ties, 12 losses. So that's a lot of games they lost. Let's see. Home form, their home form, which is very interesting because we are playing in their stadium. I believe it's Genoa Milan. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. I believe it is Genoa Milan. Yes, it is Genoa Milan. Anyway, so Genoa, let's see, 4 games. So 4 wins at home. Terrible record for them. 6 ties, 5 losses. And then away, they have 3 wins, 5 ties, 7 losses. 32 goals scored, 44 goals conceded. So they are minus 12 as far as their own personal goal difference. They are at minus 12. While we are at plus, quick math, guys, quick math, 35 minus 57, that is 22. So Milan is at plus 22. Yes, Milan is at plus 22. Pretty good. I mean, we have the full squad back. We have no excuses to lose this game. So there it goes. This should be in the bag. Okay. Let's see what our buddies are saying. Let's see. In our last 4 games against Genoa, won and drew the last two. Milan won the previous two. Okay, so the last two games Milan had a tie, and Genoa won. But before that, Milan won both games, according to Fabian. Eastbourne says, Milan had an awful away game against Genoa. Let's hope this will be the opposite. Really need Milan to break the home curse. Oh, so Milan is playing at home? Milan is playing at home? I should know this. I actually should know this, but I don't. Milan couldn't beat Genoa with... Pioli couldn't beat Genoa with Milan. I'm not that convinced. I think, look, hey, let me say something really fast about Pioli. Okay. Let me see something really fast about Pioli. I thought Pioli got outsmarted by Solskjaer. That to me is a bad sign. That to me is a bad sign because, okay, so if I am a coach, if I am a soccer coach and I have my team, right, and I'm coaching my team, and let's say at the second half, I decide to put on, Pogba. Pogba is my player. And I decide, oh, guys, by the way, Manchester City has a penalty right now. If Manchester City scores, Manchester City and its $1 billion team are going to go through if the team stays that way, and they do score. Manchester City 1, Dortmund 1. So Manchester City right now going forward. On the other leg, Real Madrid is going forward. But anyway, as I was saying, if I'm a soccer coach and I have Pogba in my bench and I want to put him in, and usually Pogba is known to be in a midfielder, you play him in the midfield, but I put him on the wing. And in the first 5 minutes of the game, the player that I put on the wing, in this case Pogba, scores from a position in which a winger would score. As a coach, I'm high-fiving myself. That's my goal. That's a coach's goal, Pioli did not counterattack that. There was he got caught. To me, that is not a good sign. To me, that is a sign that showed me that Solskjaer outsmarted him. And I'm looking at this from the coach's standpoint. So let's see what goes on in the future. Anyway, let's keep on going. Yes, Inter probably won't bottle it. I don't think so. I think Inter is going to probably take the thing. It's 100% done. Yeah, I believe so. Inter needed to be deducted points for using... Yes, Skillard always with the jokes. Skillard always with the jokes. All right, let's keep on going. Fabian, 40%. It depends if Napoli managed to beat Inter this week. We might see Inter drop in confidence and points. Okay, here's a question for the chat, because you brought up a good point. Let's go back to this table. You brought a good point. And I wanna know what you guys think and what your opinion is on this. I have a challenge for you guys, and I want to know what you guys think. So, Inter is playing Napoli. Look at where Napoli is. Napoli's at 59 points. What is better for us to keep this Champions League spot? Is it better for Napoli to lose this game, or for Inter to win this game? Or sorry, to lose this game. I mean, if Inter lose this game, okay, we have a chance to get a little bit close to Inter if we win. But if Napoli win this game, they go to 62, 1 point away from us. And then all of a sudden, that top 4 spot becomes even more competitive. I'm going to say something that is probably going to get me in a lot of trouble. I think at this point, it is best to create the gap here between 4 and 5. So it's better that Napoli lose, and we create this gap, and we just stay in this island right here. We create a nice little island. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is our little island, and nobody else can come in it. So maybe it is better for AC Milan that Inter win and Napoli lose in this case. But we never know. We never know what can happen. We need an Inter win against Napoli, says Mr. Fabian. Need an Inter win. Yes. So all of you guys agree with me. It's better for Napoli to... Okay. Joel. Oh, no, yeah. It's better for Napoli to lose because then if we win, there's a larger gap. Yes. So I see the Milanisti are all... Guys, we're all a big family. We're all connected. We all see the same thing. Need Napoli to lose and get whole Inter squad. All right. Yes. Okay. So let's see what... Plus 22, check your math. I'm pretty sure my math was correct. Emre Can, this dude still conceding penalty everywhere he goes. Emre Can, yeah. He's a disciplinary machine. Michael B., I believe our season finished the night we lost against the worst Manchester United of the last 10 years. Wow. Very interesting. Morale dropped to the floor after that. How do you think we're going to beat competition for Belotti, Vlahovic, Isco players with higher caliber other than young prospects? This is a great question, Kido. This is actually a really good question. And my opinion, obviously these are just opinions, is that the project looks good. The project looks like a healthy project and a project that seems to be going in the right direction towards being a European powerhouse. You know, the people see this, and also Milan has a reputation of being a European powerhouse, so they have the pedigree is a big advantage. The other thing is the management. Paolo Maldini and Gazidis. Gazidis, you know, he made his reputation for Arsenal, even though I personally thought Gazidis' Arsenal was crap because they never won anything except for FA Cups. And for some reason, the world of football thought that winning an FA Cup is like winning the fucking World Cup. And we have to give so much praise to Arsene Wenger because he wins the FA Cup every year. But anyway, so the football community has a lot of respect for Gazidis, but even more so for Maldini. So coupled with the management, the history of the club, just what we see on the pitch, I think, and also if we make it into the Champions League, the wages are higher. Another thing in Italy that is changing are the tax laws that they're reverting back to how it was in the 90s and the 2000s, where now, so they're going to, the taxes are going to be less now. So right now, there is a possibility for a player like Isco to come to Milan. As far as Belotti goes, Belotti is a Milanista. So getting Belotti shouldn't be that difficult. As far as Belotti goes, it's just Cairo. So Belotti has said he's a Milanista. And if Maldini says, yo, Belotti, I want you at Milan, I want you to score goals for Milan, I'm sure he will come. Vlahovic, that's different. Vlahovic is a youngster that a lot of teams are going for. He's still in that 23, 22 years range, and that is usually usually teams invest big money on players when they're that age because it's a risk. His stock could go super high and then sell him again, or it goes down. Vlahovic, honestly, I don't care too much about Vlahovic. I saw him play. He runs. I don't like the way he runs with the ball. He's a regular, you know, number 9. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Nikola Kalinic. My opinion is Belotti. Why? Because Belotti, if you look at how Belotti plays, if you really look at how Belotti plays, he's super complete, not just as a striker, but as a player. What does Belotti have? He's got assists. His through balls are precise, are pristine, almost like Rui Costa. Obviously, not at that level, but he has that in his repertoire. Okay, he's got magnificent volley goals, headers, overhead kick goals, acrobatic goals. He can cross the ball. He can cross the ball. He can slow down the game. He can speed up the game. He can keep a close ball control to his foot. He's got very good in tight space dribbling. He can play just as a filter, easy football, simple football. He's got long range shot from the midfield, from just at the top of the box, left and right. So we're talking about a player that is absolutely complete. And if you compare Vlahovic at 23 and look at Belotti at 23, it's night and day. Belotti is a soccer player. He's a football player. Vlahovic is just a striker. Fabian says Belotti is so complete and so much experience. Yes, he's got the experience, but the other thing about Belotti, Fabian, is that the guy needs to make the move. It needs to. I mean, look at him. Look at where he is right now. Look at that. What are you doing? Like a striker that level should not be playing for a team that is fighting to avoid relegation. They have a gap. It's 5 points, but still, what the fuck? Let's just go. Okay, so the other day, a news came out with confirmation that AC Milan is actually pursuing Belotti. The price was about 30 million, so it's doable. It's up to the player. Personally, I do not want Vlahovic. All right, let's see what else we have said. Our friends are saying we shouldn't gamble on experienced players. With the current medical team, Belotti is going to be injured at million for 30. I don't think so, Skillard. I don't think so. He's not. He is. I think he's still in his 20s, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's still in his 20s. Isborn, the way they will be worse than Liverpool fans. Vlahovic is giving me Piontek vibes. Belotti is so complete and has so much experience. Yes. I think we should sign some youngsters in the window, but also some players with experience because we're going to need it in the USL. Yes, exactly. And Joel, I do think that we have the youngsters, actually. Calabria is one of those youngsters. Theo Hernandez is one of those youngsters. Benacer is one of those youngsters. Kessie, who seems he's been playing forever, is still a youngster. Leão, who, he's not having the greatest of seasons, but he is considered a youngster. And I have a very interesting piece of news about Leão, actually. Hagwe is a very interesting player. He's a national team player for Norway. Tomori, if we get him, he's a youngster. Donnarumma is a youngster. Our team is really mostly youngsters. Dalot, Kalulu, all these guys are youngsters. But what we need is this experience. Now we need to get those players that can make that step up. Now we need to get, Isco. We need to get Belotti. We need to get players that can really level the team up and create some magic moments on the field. Belotti is destined for the treatment room at Milanello. I hope not. Mike Asto says has to be Belotti. Love the youth project we have going on, but I think if we make Champions League, we need 2 or 3 players in the 26, 29-year-old range in the transfer window to really strengthen the team. Yes, I definitely agree. I truly don't understand why he's still at the. That's what I don't understand. Why is he still at what? Why would you waste your career? I mean, okay. Like, is this about? Are you pleasing the fans? I mean, what? Who cares about pleasing the fans? You've pleased them enough, But you have to, at a certain point, you have to think about yourself. You're going towards, soon you're going to be in your 30s, and then soon after that, you're going to be in your mid-30s. Are you going to think, shit, I had the opportunity to play in the Champions League. I had the opportunity to be an important player. I had the opportunity to become a soccer legend. But no, I stayed at Torino fighting for relegation because I didn't want to make the fans upset. What? All right. Kido says, I agree. Belotti would be the dream signing. He's entering his peak. Rumors say Atletico, Manchester United, Tottenham, Chelsea. That's why I wonder if we can beat that competition. All right. I think Belotti has definitely some limitations, and one of those limitations is that he is an Italian, and Italians do not adapt well in abroad. Like, it is very rare that Italians adapt. English football, English football is like kryptonite for Italian players. It's just and the language barrier and the cultural barrier. Italians are not good at going to other countries and having success as much as other nations. Like, for example, Spanish players adapt really well in other countries. German players, French players, Belgian players, Portuguese players. English players are similar to the Italian players, actually. You know, right now, you don't get to see many English players move abroad from England. But I don't see Belotti going to any of those teams. If he wants to pursue a good career, he needs to stay in Italy. We have youngsters, but no winners. Skillard. We have youngsters, but no winners. I think that these players are turning into winners. I think they really are turning into winners. I think I really have a lot of faith in them. Like, I say this a lot, you know, and I've gotten crap about it. But again, this Milan team, as far as the spirit goes, it reminds me of the Milan team of the 2000 when it was in reconstruction and we got all these youngsters. You could tell that the youngsters that Milan bought in the 2000 era, it was like, man, these guys are going to kick ass. And I see the same thing with these guys. So I'm very hopeful, I'm very faithful, and maybe I'm just biased. The reason he's still at Torino is because he's loyal. Some players can't or don't want to leave. Di Natale, Totti, Vardy. Yeah, I hope he doesn't become one of those kind of players. I really do. I really hope he doesn't become a Totti, a Di Natale. It's such a waste. Will Belotti take the armband at Milan? Yeah, if he stays for a long time, he could, I think. Eastbourne, if Gigio stays, I don't think so. Plus, Kessie and Calabria are likely the next line to take the armband. Yes, I agree. Gigio, if he stays, is probably going to be the next captain. Davide Romano says, Forza Milan. Forza Milan, back to you, Davide Romano. All right, guys, let me go on with some very interesting news items that I really want to share with you guys. And let's see. So one news item that I'm very excited about is this one right here. Now, some people are going to be like, yo, you are crazy. What are you talking about? But I have said it before. I like this player, Mattia Zaccagni. Very interesting. So according to reports, Mattia Zaccagni the clubs already have a deal with Napoli. So he's a Napoli player. As of now, Mattia Zaccagni, his destination seems to be Napoli. But the player, according to reports, is waiting. So let's read this. The Azzurri, Napoli, have reached an agreement in principle thanks to a 16 million euro offer. All right. They unsuccessfully tried to orchestrate an operation like the one involving Amir Rahmani last year, who was purchased in the winter and allowed to finish the campaign with the Giallo Blue. So the clubs between Verona and Napoli have an agreement. Zaccagni is open to the destination, but dreams of joining the Rossoneri, the site adds. His name has come up in the talks between the two clubs regarding center-back Matteo Lovato. But Milan have not opened a real negotiation to buy the midfielder. They're chasing after different targets in that role, such as Florian Thauvin and Josip Ilicic. Two hot names that have been circling. His agent Fausto Pari told Radio Kiss Kiss yesterday he is neither closer nor more distant to joining Napoli compared to a couple of months ago. The transfer market plans have been put on hold as teams are focusing on other aspects at the moment. Every agent is busy trying to find the team where his client can fit the best. Akane is a natural box-to-box midfielder, and Ivan Juric is using him as well in other roles too. So it's not a done deal. Maybe Akane could be an interesting destination for AC Milan. I wouldn't mind that. I think he's an excellent player. I urge you guys to check his highlight reel. He has some crazy plays. So his through balls, his vision, his diagonals, his technique, his goals are just top level. So very interesting news item right there. Let's go on to another one here that I found very interesting. Let's see. Okay, right here. Here we go, guys. It seems like tomorrow, April 15th, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is signing the new deal with AC Milan. Let's see what this says. La Gazzetta dello Sport via Milan News reported this morning Milan and Ibrahimovic are defining the final details, and they will be able to officially announce the renewal of the striker for another season. The signature from the Swede on the new contract is expected by tomorrow at the latest, as per the paper. So according to Gazzetta dello Sport, Ibrahimovic tomorrow is signing a new deal with AC Milan. According to the latest from Il Corriere della Sera, the management will look for a new center forward this summer who can grow alongside the Swede. And this is where the discussion of Belotti comes in. But these pieces of crap are saying the paper mentions that the hottest name at the moment is that of Dusan Vlahovic of Fiorentina. I don't believe that. I honestly don't believe that. I believe that they're going for Belotti. There appears to be intense competition to land the Serbian international, and is currently valued at around 40 million at the moment. So what do we learn from this article? We're learning that Milan wants to get a new striker and grow with Ibrahimovic for at least one more year. So now the newspapers are starting to say this. I would like to see that happen with Belotti. Belotti and Ibrahimovic, yes, sir. Let's do it right away. All right, let's keep on going. We have some other very good news items that are very, very interesting. One about Leão. I want to read this one about Leão. Very interesting. Here we go. Are you guys ready for this? This one is kind of a shocker. Okay, it's come. Here we go. Everton, Wolverhampton Wanderers quoted 50 million euro. No, 50 million pounds. Oh, is that euro? That's pounds, right? Yeah, for Rafael Leão. 50 million pounds. Yes, let's do it. Right? I mean, if they would pay that kind of money. This is something I was saying. In a previous podcast. The English teams will pay incredible amounts of money for players that are maybe average to a certain point, but even for like youngsters that could potentially become stars, they pay a shitload of money. And so this is, and another thing, sometimes newspapers just write shit to get clicks. So, but anyway, this is what has come out. Let's read. The 21-year-old recently emerged as a rumored target for both clubs after scoring the 6th Serie A goal of the campaign, adding to the 5 assists that he has accrued. Okay, so 6 goals and 5 assists, not bad for a 21-year-old that is not a starter, that is in and out. Everton are said to be looking for someone capable of playing alongside Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who is a player that Laert loves and wants to bring to Milan. And Richarlison. While Wolves have struggled to fill the void left by long-term injury absentee Raul Jimenez. However, Calciomercato claims that Milan will not sell out on the cheap. With double the 25 million they paid to Lille to sign the Portuguese youngster like to be required. Leão, yet to be capped by Portugal at senior level, has scored 13 and 66 appearances for Milan overall since arriving 2 years ago. So this is what we wanted to see. This is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see reports like this of these clubs around Europe and big numbers like that being interested in our players. This means that the project is working. This means that everything is going smooth. So if Milan were to sell Leão for 50 million and then use that 50 million to buy, a player that is already experienced for the Champions League, and yes, this is how it's done. Very, very interesting. So let's see what you guys think. Joel, I saw on IFTV's Instagram that AC Milan was recommended to Hagway by Haaland. Nice. So basically Haaland told Hagway, yo, go to Milan. Milan is a good team for you to grow. Good, Haaland. Now you come to Milan. Foden is a real gem. Yes, Foden is a real gem. Manchester City scored a goal, so it looks like it's a pretty much done deal. The aggregate is 2-4. I talked too soon earlier. The billion-dollar team seems to be going to the next phase of the Champions League. If we can sell Conti like Samu Kadara, maybe if we sell Rebic, only if we have a direct replacement ready, we will have funds for players like Zaccagni, Lovato, Lokonga, Singo. Yes, or like how we were reading right here, Leão. If they're willing to pay 50 million, let him go. Yes, 50 million. Man, we can buy some really good players at that kind of money. It has to be Wolves since it's a Portuguese team based in England. Leão would fit in right in. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. So Wolves has a lot of Portuguese players. Yeah. Okay. We can sign way better player with that money, like Belotti. Absolutely. I mean, with that kind of money, we could sign Belotti and some, because 50 million plus the 100 million, that's 150 million. I mean, not bad, not bad. Let's read a few more comments, and then we'll go to the next. We got a few more news items for you guys. And guys, this is not fake news. Or maybe it is. I don't know. To be honest with you, a lot of the shit that they write in the newspapers, as far as the sports and transfer market, you never know whether it's true or it's just clickbait. I think that we should keep Leão at least one more season. So Fabian thinks that even if they do come with a 50 million, here I'm going to give you 50 million, we should still keep him. I would even do a swap deal with Richarlison of Everton or Pedro Neto of Wolves for Leão. Interesting. Very interesting. Kido, only sell out if we have a direct replacement. Yes, a direct replacement could be a Zaccagni, for example. Zaccagni plays in that role. Maybe Hagway's growth. I don't know. Anyway, I think that Leão is most likely going to stay. And I think we all feel that. Richardson would be perfect, but he has far more value than Leão. All right. Opinions on Vlahovic. So Vlahovic, in my opinion, he's quite a limited player. He does not have the assist Like he does not have a through ball. He has the simple assist, but he doesn't have the through ball assist. He doesn't have a cross. His dribbling is not that great. His IQ on the ball is not that impressive. His positioning in the box is a position of a number 9. His biggest attribute is his strength and his physical prowess. So he would be good at, not letting defenders push him around. But when it comes to football and soccer, I think there's a lot they're missing. I am not excited about this player at all. His numbers are really good, though. His numbers are really good. He's got, I think 12 goals, something like that. And he does have a bunch of assists, but I'm not that impressed. Leão can be a top player if we trust him. I agree with you, Fabian. I mean, I really have a lot of faith in these youngsters because I have faith in the project. The project seems to have the ability to create top players, because remember, it's the team that creates the top players. Okay, the top player is a flower that needs to bloom, but you have to water that flower, and you have to give the flower the right nourishment, and you have to put the flower on the right soil, and you have to give the flower the right nutrients, and then it blooms into a beautiful spectacle of nature. And I think AC Milan has all the ingredients to allow these flowers to bloom. I'm worried that there are no news about Milan looking for a vice che sì. Why would we look for a vice che sì? We do have, I think, so what I saw about Mete, it looks like they are actually going to try and buy Mete for about 6 million. That's what I heard. We do have Tonali. We have Benacer. Maybe you're right. We do need someone else there. We need a fourth option, or rather a fifth option when these players get injured. Also, to have a little bit more a variety. We do have three potential starting midfielders. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you something. Let me do this. I'm going to show you something very, very interesting. Let's see. Okay. We are going to look at the tactical board, and I'm going to show you what I think are other AC Milan options when it comes to the players they have. Oh, okay. This is what you're saying, because Kessie and Benacer are going to leave for the African Cup of Nations. Yes, this is the problem with African players, but the African Cup of Nations usually happens just before the Christmas break. So that period there is usually a nuisance, because those players are not at your disposal. And Benacer and Kessie is Milan's midfield. So you do bring a good point there. I wonder how they will manage that. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to show you this real quick. Let's see. All right. So let's say we have our formation right here, the 4-2-3-1 usual formation. Let's just go with the starting lineup. We have Calabria, Kjaer, Tomori, Theo, Donnarumma, Benacer, Kessie, Çalhanoğlu, Salamaker, Rebic, Ibrahimovic. Okay, that's our starting 11 currently. If everybody were to be fit, that's what it would look like. So what are our other star players that we have in our team? We have Tonali. Who would you sacrifice Tonali for? Well, I would say this guy right here, Salamaker. And I would put Tonali in the midfield. Maybe you can put Benacer in the middle, or Tonali or Kessie. Actually, you could put any of those three in the middle. It doesn't really matter. But all three of them can play both the mid-Zala position and the regista position. But because we are Milan and we like beautiful football, we will put Benasser right there as the regista, Kessi as the mezzala on the left, and Tonali as the mezzala on the right. Now, what are our options here? Çalhanoğlu, keep him as an attacking midfielder, number 10. Put this guy over here, and bada bing, bada boom. This guy next year could be Belotti, who knows? But there you have it. And how do we get our wings? Well, we have Calabria, and we have Theo Hernandez that push the wings. And then who do we have to cover? We have Kessi and Tonali to cover the spaces when they're open. And also, since we are not playing with the wingers, with the attacking wingers, so we can also have Tonali do the overlaps or Kessi do the overlaps, or if your midfielders are not doing the overlaps, your attacking midfielder is doing the overlaps. And if your attacking midfielder is not doing the overlaps, Ibrahimovic is definitely not going to do the overlaps. But Belotti, who also is good on the wing, could do the overlaps on the wing over there. So, yes, we do have different options as far as how to play this team. But Salamakers, for some reason, is winning the competition at the training pitch. So that's why Salamakers is getting his position there, and they don't want to even think about changing the formation. This is what works for Pioli right now. This is what he's going for. The problem that I see here with this current squad, the way it is that Salamakers does not bring goals or assists. And in these, these are your players that are supposed to bring your assist. This one right here, he's supposed to bring assists and goals. That's a Rebic. Well, Rebic does that. He's doing that. Of course, the Ibrahimovic, the striker, he's supposed to bring goals. He does that. But this player here is also supposed to be doing goals. And maybe this goes back to the reason why, when we're looking at that table, goals for, I think we were 5th, in the top 5 of goals for, or in the top 5. And the reason why we're not in the top 3 or top 2 is because we're missing the goals from this position right here, from this area. I mean, we're getting more goals from this guy that starts all the way down here on the field than this guy that starts only about 15 meters away from the goal. But Salamakers is also very good at playing for the team, with the team. The way he covers down the field, basically when Milan defend, they kind of look like this. They look like a 4-5. Well, they should be looking like a 4-5-1-2 when they defend. Sorry, a 4-5-1 with Çalhanoğlu covering the middle spaces or any of these channels, depending where. But this is why Salamakers is working, because he does this job really well, and he covers this area of the field. He helps Calabria in that area of the field. Salamakers was born a right back, so he has it in his repertoire to play the whole field. So that's why. But we have different options. I mean, if you want to keep Salamakers, who would you sacrifice if you want to keep Salamakers? You're probably not going to sacrifice Çalhanoğlu. You're probably going to sacrifice Rebic. No, I don't see that. The only other option I see for AC Milan is a 4-3-1-2, just like that. This is the other option that I'm seeing. Other possible options, maybe if we wanted, okay, here above this one, let's try this one out. We put Chiaia right there in the middle. We put Tomori right here. Tomori goes right there. We get Romagnoli right there. So we get 3 players in the defense. We get the attacking a wing back here. So that would be Calabria over here. We have Theo Hernandez over here. And here we can play the two midfielders, Kessie, Benacer, Çalhanoğlu, and then the two strikers. So a 3-5-2. But I don't see this formation as being a very exciting formation. We need more. Look at all. Why have all these players here when all you need is two? So yeah, right now Milan only has these two options, which is, are you going to make Tonali a starter and change the formation for him? So so look at this. This is how AC Milan used to play in 2005, I believe. No, 2007. Milan started the season playing this formation right here. Okay. They started playing this formation right here. So it was I can't remember who the names were, but this is what it was. And we had the two strikers, Crespo and Inzaghi were the two strikers. And then you had Kaká in the number 10 position. You had Seedorf as the mezzala on the left. You had Gattuso playing as a mezzala, also defensive midfielder, playing on the right. You had Pirlo right there, directing the play. Here you had Jan Kulowski, I believe. I think here was Oddo, if I'm not mistaken. In 2007, it was Oddo. Here you had Nesta and Maldini. So this team was getting its ass kicked. Even though I was saying all those names, this team was getting its ass kicked. So what did Ancelotti do? He said, look, we are losing the game in the midfield because, remember, you lose if you win the game. They always say you win the game in the midfield. So what did Ancelotti do? He says, I got to sacrifice someone. Who did he sacrifice? He sacrificed one of the strikers. And the formation that won the Champions League became this. He decided, I'm going to take away a striker and add a midfielder. And his formation started to look more like this. So basically, he took away one of the strikers and he added Ambrosini into the mix. Seedorf did not play as a winger. He played as a mezzala hybrid winger, and Gattuso the same. So, and then you had moments where also they played with a Christmas tree formation, which was a very big for that Ancelotti squad. Seedorf, Kaká, Ambrosini, Pirlo, Gattuso, and the striker. That looked good. But so I'm saying, having that kind of flexibility is important, and we need to do it. All right. Anyway, so that is that. Let's keep on going. Pobega is there. Why spend on Mete? He's not good enough. Now, Pobega is a defender, if I'm not mistaken. He's not a midfielder, right? I believe Pobega is a defender. I think Pobega might be given a chance next season to earn a bench spot. Well, look, as far as we can see, Verona is doing great. Pobega is in the center of that Verona team. I mean, okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's see if we can make some kind of a relationship. Okay, guys, by the way, Real Madrid has won the game, and they have gone through to the next round of the Champions League. And I believe, and so has Manchester United. So in the Champions League right now, we have Chelsea, Manchester City, Real Madrid, and PSG. Out of these four teams, who do you guys think is going to take it? Oh, Pobega is not a defender. He's a midfielder. All right, so he's a midfielder, right? He's a defensive midfielder, right? He plays as a defensive midfielder. Pobega's at Spezia, right? I'm thinking about something else, guys. Thank you for correcting me, Kido. Yeah, Pobega looks like a pretty interesting player. Oh yeah, Spezia. I remember. That's why, because Spezia played against Milan, and Spezia looked like Barcelona. And Pobega was at the center of that team, so that's good. I mean, he played well against us. So if he played well against us, I'm pretty sure he can play well for us. PSG will win. Man City have no striker that can really rely on to score. Man City, right? They don't. PSG has a lot of goals. I mean, look, if you want to build a team that is going to win big trophies, you want goals, okay? You want players that are going to give you goals. Because even if we go back to the past, you know, when we played this formation right here, we had goals from Inzaghi. We had goals from Shevchenko. We had goals from Kaká. We had goals from Seedorf. We had goals from Pirlo that was scoring the free kicks, the kicks. We had, you know, the occasional goal by Gattuso. We had a lot of goals. Right now, who is scoring goals for us? We have Kessie just on the penalties. We have Theo Hernandez coming in, but we're not talking about a lot of goals and important goals. We're just talking about some goals. Rebic and Ibra. So we got, and Çalhanoğlu, not as many goals as he should, but we don't have many goals. You know, we don't. In this position here, like I was saying earlier, there's no goals coming from that position. Ibra played only half of the matches. Leão scored 6 goals. Rebic scored probably less, about same amount. We need goals. You want to create a team that wins games, you got to get players that score goals. You got to get players with goals. Midfielders that can score 10 goals a season. A striker that can score up to 20 goals a season. Wingers that can score up to 20 goals a season. I mean, if you have Kaká, Inzaghi, and Shevchenko, that is 20 plus 20, 40 plus 15, 55. That's just 55 average goals with 3 players. 55. That's how many goals we have right now. You know? So that's what we got to look at, goals. We got to look at goals. And, of course, we got to look at not conceding goals. Skillard says, Kaká is younger than Zlatan, bring him back. That's funny. Agüero is still good, but not the player he used to be. Yeah, I agree. If Real Madrid can defeat Chelsea in the semis, then I think they still have a good chance. Plus, they have the Championship League DNA, winning mentality, and it's a one-off final. Man, let me ask, do we want Real Madrid to win? Do we want them to go to 14? Because that's twice the amount of Champions League that we have. That kind of burns. That kind of makes me jealous a little bit. Envious. Chelsea has 1 Champions League. So if they win, they would go to 2. Manchester City has no Champions League. So if they win, they go to 1. And PSG has no Champions Leagues. If they win, they go to 1. Let's do that. Let's get PSG. PSG. And actually, Joel, you brought a good point. PSG has a lot of goals. Mbappé, how many goals does Mbappé can score in a season? A lot. Neymar, how many goals does Neymar have a season? A lot. Di Maria, not Di Maria. Who are the other strikers? Remind me who the other strikers are. But they have a lot of teams, a lot of guys that can score goals. Tuchel should win by beating PSG. Who should play center forward against Genoa? Rebic. That's a good question. Let me answer that in a second. I thought PSG had 1 UCL. Actually, no. Skiller. Last year was the first time PSG ever made it to the Champions League final. That's why when they lost, they weren't that upset about it, because that was a milestone achievement for the club. Who should we play center forward against? Okay, my opinion, based on current form and what we've seen on the pitch, I would play Leão on the wing here as the number 7. Usually that's the number 7. Let's be precise here. Let's be precise. Let's use the right numbers. Let's use the correct designated numbers. we are football fanatics after all, so why not be precise and use the correct numbers? All right. So I would have Leão on the wing right here as a number 7, Rebic as the lone striker, number 9, Salamakers as 11, Çalhanoğlu as the number 10. I would keep on going with the Benacer Kessie tandem. Let's hope. Okay, if we look at the first half of Parma Milan, I mean, Milan played really well. Played really well. It was the second half that kind of became a disaster. So I would get the same thing here. Defense here, I would not go with Kalulu, to be honest with you. I would go with Dalot because I think that I would rather be more offensive than defensive. But I would go with Dalot. And then here, I'll probably go with Kjaer Tomori and Tarnan. So pretty much the same formation as last week, minus Dalot, minus Kalulu. I would put Dalot instead. I would put Leão over there as a number 7, Rebic as a number 9. Mandzukic, no, because he has not been playing for a long time, so it would just be a risk for him. And also, I don't think they have resolved the red card thing yet. It is possible that Ibrahimovic is actually going to be playing, because there is a possibility that it was a misunderstanding. I don't know if that has been decided yet today. I have not seen any reports on that yet. Skillard, yes. It was Marseille that won the European Cup. And do you remember who they won it against? It was against us, 3-0. That was actually Marseille, that team that Marseille won the Champions League against AC Milan in 93. They had Tesai. Tesai was in Marseille, and then after we played them, I don't know if it was already planted in the books, but we snatched Tesai from Marseille that year. And then in 94, AC Milan won the Champions League against Romario's and Stoichkov's Barcelona, and Tesai scored, I believe, the 4th goal, or either the 3rd or 4th goal of that game, 4-0. Leão start in front and sub in Mandzukic in second half if Leão doesn't show anything. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, Mandzukic, if Mandzukic is ready, you want to start to get him on the field a little bit, but that definitely is the most common logical thing to do. You get Leão. Oh, you would say Leão in front as a striker? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it could work, Leão as a striker. I think Rebic is a little bit more lethal and more technical in the tight spaces. I find that, when we have a packed defense, and a packed midfield, let's just do 2 lines of 4. So you don't have much space here. Everything is very closed. So, what are your options when you're playing in this area of the field when you have a team that is closes down? So you got your 1-2s coming in. Is Leão good at these 1-2s? I don't know. I'm not convinced. Leão in this area of the field has not shown me that he is good at playing this game. Okay, look at Ibrahimovic. This last game, so he did the overlap. So Ibrahimovic received the ball in this position here, and then found a through ball to Rebic, and then Rebic turned his body and scored in right there. So I don't think Leão would have been able to do that. I don't think Leão would have been able to do what Rebic did. I think Leão's strength is his stride with the ball. And if you put him on the wing, where there's a lot of space for him to ride the ball and help, and also get the team to come forward. Another thing that Leão is very good at is when the team is in a defensive posture. When the team is in a defensive posture, he is good at creating counterattacks. So if he is here, the ball is most likely not going to go to him, and that's a very difficult position to win the ball because this player is usually covered by the two central defenders. Now, Ibrahimovic has a technique and the body to do that. As a matter of fact, Ibrahimovic is very good to receive a ball here in this area and then just lay it off to the wings. That kind of football is very high Q. It's very high IQ level football, technical football. Not only technical, but physical IQ, because of how you position your body and how you hold your core of the body when you are facing, because you're getting the blows from the back. These guys are coming from you of the back, and you have to stay on your feet and do a precise layoff. Leão can't do that. Rebic a little bit more, but you give Leão the ball in this area here, he can run forward, put a cross in, and Rebic can score. So that's what I would do. Let's see. It has Ibra misses. Ibra does miss one match. Motherfuckers. I would start Mandzukic if he's fit because there's only 8 games left. He should play, or else there was literally no point in bringing him in. Yes. I don't know if I would start him right away. I would first ease him in to match fitness by letting him play the last 20 minutes of the game, and then slowly ease him in. Because if you put in a striker from the beginning, then you're expecting that striker to play all 45 minutes at a high intensity level straight from the get-go. You could risk a recurring injury there. I'm assuming that's the process that they're going for. Do you think Roma can win the Yes, I do. I definitely do. I think Roma can win the the EuroLeague. I hope they do. I really hope. And it's funny because I always rag on Roma. Roma is the most disgusting team when it comes to Europe. They're embarrassing. I'm embarrassed when I see Roma play in Europe. When they lose 7-0, a 5-0, it is freaking embarrassing. Need Rebic on left wing for now. That is true. That is true. That is a good point you bring up there, Skillard. And when it comes down to what do I sacrifice? What is worth sacrificing? Are we gonna sacrifice the tight play here, the ability to hold the ball in this area, or are we going to sacrifice the link up between these two players? It comes down to that. So it's up to Pioli to make that decision. I told you what mine would be, but it's going to be up to him. Rebic on the left for Teo, Mandzukic up top. Leão is a great substitute. If Mandzukic was fit, he would be the obvious selection, no doubt. All right, let me read a few more comments. Then I have some final news items to share. Joel, still possible because Manchester United and Arsenal still could be defeated. So anyone among Roma, Villarreal, Manchester United, and Arsenal, if they manage to win tomorrow against Slavia. Guys, yes, let's hope Roma wins. Also because if Roma wins, then we have 5 Serie A teams in the Champions League. And it works for everybody. All right, let's move on to some of our last news items of the day, which are very, very interesting. Okay, here we go. All right. Let's talk about the hot topic of renewals. I think it is obviously a topic us Milan fans have to face in this current moment. So let's see what the newspapers are saying. There is still not much to report regarding the progress of 2 renewals, while Zlatan Ibrahimovic is close to signing. Pepe Di Stefano spoke to Sky Italia from Casa Milan and reported that neither Maldini nor Massara were at training this afternoon. Raiola, and what are we doing? Are they at the beach? What are we doing? I guess they are doing deals or something. Raiola has recently left Turin, and it's plausible that he could be in Milan or could be traveling to the city. Ibrahimovic's new deal is basically all agreed. We read that earlier. While there are more problems with Çalhanoğlu and Donnarumma. Milan absolutely do not want to let go of Donnarumma, and it is described as a game of chess. Luca Marchetti then spoke on the matter and added that while Mino Raiola can ask for 15 million net per season, which is a lot, for Donnarumma, there's no team that is ready to offer contracts at these figures to the 22-year-old. There would have to be a goalkeeping carousel amongst the top clubs, and it is unlikely to start. Well, nothing new, really. I think we all believe that he is going to renew the contract. It's just a Raiola's way of deals. But if Milan makes the Champions League, he's renewing. There's no two ways about it. If Milan makes the Champions League, he is renewing, and he's going to stay at AC Milan. If he doesn't make the Champions League, then things can get ugly. And you guys are thinking, well, that's fucked up. Why should he do that? But, let me see. Earlier, we were discussing about Belotti and his situation. But doesn't that apply to Donnarumma too, in a certain way? If Donnarumma wants to pursue Champions League football, and he wants to pursue top-level football, and he wants to play in teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid, whatever, these teams that are already at the level that of being able to win a Champions League competition. I mean, hey, who are we to stop it? Us fans, we shouldn't imprison players to the team. If these players don't want to be in the team and they want to pursue their career elsewhere, it is what it is, because I can't be here saying how Belotti is an idiot because he wants to stay at Torino and fight for the relegation place, but then tell Donnarumma he's an idiot because he wants to leave AC Milan and he should stay faithful to the fans. At the end of the day, humans are humans, and humans have a right to pursue whatever they want in their careers, and I don't think we should hold them hostage. But I think that it would be better for Donnarumma to stay at AC Milan, because AC Milan is a perfect place. AC Milan is a perfect cradle. It's a perfect nest for Donnarumma to grow into what he wants to become. All right, let's see what our friends are saying. Joel says, I think that Gigi will stay and Hakan will leave, unfortunately. Really? You think Hakan will leave? I don't know yet. It is very possible that Hakan leaves. He does have a lot of... again, here it comes back to this. If there are teams that are saying, hey, I'm going to pay you 7 million euros or dollars or whatever to play for my team, and the team I'm currently playing for is offering me 4 million. Like, you as a human being, aside the faith of the colors, aside the faith of the logo, aside the faith of the fans, but that's 3 million more that you're going to be putting in your bank account, and that you can, secure the future of your family, of yourself. Do we really blame these players to if they take those kind of decisions? Is it right for us to do that? I don't know, but I think that Hakan should stay in AC Milan. I think from what I saw in the national teams, Hakan does have the quality to become an important European player. Okay, let's keep on going. We do not need more Raiola players. Man, Raiola is a piece of shit, all right? He knows he's a piece of shit, and I'm sure if you call him a piece of shit in his face, he's like, okay. Like, he knows, and that's his game. Both of them should renew. Yes, I hope so too. I would give Gigio a 2-year contract and sell him next season or 1 year before his contract expires. If things are going to be the same, Raya is a pain in the ass. Yes, sir. Yes, I think Gigio stays, but if not, get Mike Magnan for only 12 million. Mike Magnan. If Gigio wants 12 million a year, he needs to score. Oh man, Skillard. Skillard, funny man. If Gigio wants, he needs to score at least 5 goals a season. Hey, if Gigio, who was that goalkeeper in Chilavert that had, like, you know, an average of 3, 4, 5 goals a season because of the free kicks? He was the free kick taker of the team. And you remember the Mexican goalkeeper Campos? He played half in, I can't remember what club he played for, but he played half a game in the goal and then the next half as a striker. And he also had, as a goalkeeper, he had a goal average. That was pretty interesting. Campos. Gigio and Akane will wait until we secure Champions League. If we do, they'll sign. If not, they'll leave. This is what's going on. Yes, exactly. They're waiting for the Champions League. Once they know they have the Champions League in the bag. And also, you know, we are talking about, hey, a human being's right to go and pursue a career and make more money. But at the same time, we have to talk about earning it. All right. So if Gigio and Akane want to make more money, earn it. Earn your money. Make sure the team finishes in the top 4, and then we get the Champions League money and they can pay you more. Earn it on the fucking field. All right. Let's keep on going. Skillard, good point. Yes, that was very funny by Skillard. Brignoli. All right. If he demands 12 million net, he'll need a headband. I don't think he's going to get 12 million. He's going to get 8 million. I think they're going to settle at around 8 million. If Gigio's only after the money, even after he renews, I would give Kessie the armband. I think Gigio is gonna get it. I think Gigio's gonna get it at the end of the day. It's Raiola. Raiola is a pain in the ass. That's a problem. It's Raiola. He's the problem. It's just the way he deals. It's just his technique of making these deals. That's the problem. Campos saves were impressive considering it was only 5. Yes, Campos. I remember Campos. He was an excellent goalkeeper. I remember Campos playing against Italy a bunch of times, but I remember his club career also. And I remember him being actually a really good striker as well. Yeah, very, very interesting to see that. We don't see much of that anymore, of these goalkeepers doing multiple roles. Actually, I think Campos is the only player I can think of that was a goalkeeper and a striker. So when you're purchasing Campos, you're also purchasing a striker. Very interesting. Chilavert used to take free kicks and penalties. He's a mad one. We will never see those kind of goalkeepers anymore these days. Yes, Chilavert was also a legendary soccer player. Just his demeanor was always entertaining and fun to watch. And his free kicks were freaking on point. You know, they were on point. Also, Rogerio Ceni, he scored more than 100 goals. Wow. Damn, that's a lot. Rogerio Ceni. Are you sure? Fabian, are you going to make me Wikipedia this? Are you 100% sure? Let's see. I want to see if this is true. I'm going to put Fabian on the spot right now. Let's see if this is true. Rogerio Ceni. Oh, yes. I remember this goalkeeper. Okay. Born 22 January 1973, Brazilian football manager and former player who played as a goalkeeper and as a current manager of Flamengo. Wow, that's one of the biggest teams in Brazil, so that's a big role. Oh my God, he's right. Look at that. Sao Paulo, 131 goals. Fabian, amazing. 131 goals. How the hell did he score his goals? Was it style of play? Chenny was official taker of free kicks and penalties. Okay, a dead ball specialist. Chenny was the official taker of the free kicks and penalties for São Paulo from 1997 until his retirement, a time period in which he scored 131 goals. In addition to his accurate set pieces, prolific goal scoring, distribution, ability with the ball at his feet. Man, he would be perfect for today's kind of football. He was also known as an excellent goalkeeper and shot stopper, and stood out for his determination and longevity throughout his career. He retired at 40 years of age. Senni was known for being capable of producing brilliant saves, such as those in the final of the 2005 FIFA Club World Cup, which saw Sao Paulo defeat Liverpool. Yes, guys, this guy is a legend. You know why? Because he defeated the team that beat us 3 on penalties in 2005. Remember that game, guys? I'm sure you guys remember that game. The 2005 game where Milan lost that, that casual game against Liverpool. So that year, Sao Paulo played against Liverpool in the Club World Cup, and they beat Liverpool 1-0. Senni later won the Golden Ball. Oh, he won Best Player of the Tournament, which is awarded to the competition's best player. He is considered to be one of Brazil's greatest goalkeepers ever. Amazing. Nice, Fabian. Nice. I like that. 100% sure. Rogério Ceni better than most of Milan strikers. This guy scores more goals than Leão, Rebic. So he definitely scored. This guy, guys, okay, let's look at it this way. If we had Salamakers and Rogério Ceni, if we substitute Salamakers with Rogério Ceni, we would have more goals right now. I guess Donnarumma wouldn't be playing. He was a beast. 2005, yes, definitely a memory to be erased. But yeah, that game sucked. So Skillard actually has been proposing for us to watch a classic game, or a classic AC Milan game, and soon when the whole squad gets together, me, Laird, Ari, Aaron, we could do that and have a nice interaction with everybody. The game I'm thinking is Inter Milan Inter, the 6-0 game. I think that would be a nice game to watch. I think that would be an excellent game to watch. I believe it was 6-0 or 6-something, 6-2, 6-1. That's the game we should definitely all watch together. It was, I remember Serginho had an amazing performance in that game. He just owned. I believe it was in 2004 or 2003. It was after 2004, 2003. So we'll look at that. We will look at that. The Milan Juventus. Okay, no offense, but that game sucked. All right, that game really sucked. That game was one of the worst soccer games I've ever seen in my whole life. It was so boring. I remember being with some friends when we were watching that game, and my friends fucking fell asleep because there was no action. And we got so much shit because the press was, Italian teams don't know how to play soccer. Italian teams this. The press just fucking shat on us for months because of that game. I don't care. We got that. That was our 6th Champions League. Who gives a crap? Don't watch an Inter game. The assholes will flood the comment above Scudetto. Yes. Yeah, so we'll figure out a game. Maybe the Milan-Manchester United 3-0. That was a good game. There was some good victories against Juventus. How about Van Basten, Gullit, Rijkaard against Real Madrid 5-0. Carlo Ancelotti scoring a screamer from the midfield 5-0 against Real Madrid, or 4-0 against Barcelona. That 6-0 Milan Inter is like watching Pornhub. A lot of exciting moments for sure. 6 exciting moments. But a lot of games that we could look at. There's also the 4-0 against Stella Bucharest in 88-89 Champions League, the final. Fun fact about AC Milan. AC Milan is one of the most, has won a lot of finals with scoring 4 goals. So the first, they won the Champions League in 69 against Ajax, I believe. I believe it was against Ajax. And Milan scored 4 goals. It was 4-1. Then they won in 89 against Steaua Bucharest, and it was 4-0. Then in 90, they won against Benfica, and I believe it was only 1-0. And actually, Benfica is the team with which Milan won its first Champions League. The first Champions League Milan won was in 63 against Benfica. Milan won 2-1 against Eusebio. For anybody who is into like classic football, legendary, Eusebio was the Ronaldo, the Messi of the day. And then in 94, we beat Barcelona 4-0. And so 3 Champions Leagues out of 4, scoring 4 goals. That's a good record. Very good record. We'll figure out a game. Anyway, guys, let's go to our final news pieces. And then we're going to end the stream. Let's go. We have some final news items to share with you guys. Okay, so interesting here. Just some transfer market rumors. Oh, Eastbourne, I like that idea. That's an awesome idea. We can watch all 7 Champions League fights. That would be amazing. I love that idea. We'll start with the first one, then maybe a week later we'll do the next one, then the next one, then the next one. That's a great idea. I love that idea. Anyway, we were reading here some just interesting news items coming in the transfer market. AC Milan are interested in Spezia defender Martin Erlich. A report claims, and his friendship with Ante Rebic could help their chances. Erlich has racked up 2 goals and an assist in 23 appearances between Serie A and the Coppa Italia this season, and he recently scored the decisive goal against Crotone. According to La Gazzetta dello Sport, the Croatian defender, who is 1.93 meters tall, so quite tall, and is excellent when it comes to aerial duels, is beginning to attract the interest of several top Serie A clubs, such as Napoli, Fiorentina, Milan in particular. Erlich is a compatriot of Rebic, and after Spezia beat Milan earlier in the season, the pair spoke at the end of the game. Therefore, the winger could be decisive in the event that the Rossoneri decides to start negotiations for the purchase of the player. I'm assuming that the reason why they're looking at defenders is probably because they don't know whether or not Romagnoli is in or out. So if Romagnoli does go out, they definitely need to get a replacement. The Diavolo already carried out a survey for Erlich last summer, and during the season, the player has been followed. If there's interest, it will be necessary to see if an offer will be put on the table. Oh, yeah, and here it says, especially given the uncertain futures of Romagnoli and Mattia Caldara. So Caldara, always in the injury, always under treatment. so we can't really rely on someone like Caldara based on his past. Romagnoli has his agent is Raiola, so there's always going to be problems there. So it looks like Milan is already looking for the next defender. You should do a match reviews for the Azzurri. Oh yeah, for sure. We're definitely going to do that. We're definitely following the Euros. It should be quite interesting. All right, guys. I think I have one more news item to share for the day. Share screen. Ta 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 ta. Ah, yes. I got two more news items that are quite interesting. Let's look at this one here. So we're playing against Genoa, and actually, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Genoa has this very interesting striker. I'm assuming this is the one I'm thinking of. His name is Scamacca. Yes, Gianluca Scamacca has been a transfer target for Juventus for some time now. The Bianconeri were keen to sign him in the winter transfer window, but they couldn't agree on the transfer fee with Sassuolo. The striker remains on loan at Genoa for the rest of the season. Now, remember, Sassuolo is a team that has a lot of money. All right, Sassuolo, the president of Sassuolo is a president with a lot of money. They have their own stadium. Sassuolo is one of the few Italian teams that own their own stadium. The president is a TV guy, I believe. He makes a lot of money. So Milan is looking to get Scamacca. He could be interesting. He's currently under 21 international. We'll see him in action on Sunday, I believe. So let's see. The 22-year-old has 5 goals and 2 assists from 21 league games this season, and there are numbers that he can easily improve on if he joins a big team like Juve. The report didn't disclose how much he would cost, but Sassuolo knows they have a fine striker on their hands and would be looking for a decent transfer fee. Scamacca. Interesting. Oh, this kid right here. I don't know if you guys know who that kid, the little Hercules boy, doesn't look. I don't know if you followed the story of this kid. He was a bodybuilder when he was a child, and now in his adult years, he's completely given all of that up. And he very interesting story. I think there's a documentary about him. But anyway, Scamacca seems to be a transfer target again. I don't think Milan need to go for an under 21 international when it comes to strikers. I think now Milan is obligated to go for the real deal. No more under 21s. Now we need players that can kick ass in front of any defense. I'll say it again. Bellotti. We've been linked with him last summer. He was doing great last season in Serie B. If I'm not mistaken, he was the top scorer. Okay. Very interesting. So he was a top scorer of Serie B. I think Lapadula had a similar thing, but Lapadula did not translate too well when he came to AC Milan. But Scamacca is still young, so that definitely goes for him. All right, guys, here we go. We have a few more. And I want to end with the Kalulu one, but I have another transfer market here. Interesting report regarding let's see. Golden Boy asks, "Hey Roy, nice to see you by yourself." Yes, today the rest of the squad was not available, so I decided to just go by myself. Who do you think will win the Champions League this year? I'm glad Bayern Liverpool didn't get through because I don't want them to catch us. 7 trophies, baby. Yes, we were actually discussing this earlier, Golden Boy, and this is what we're saying. We don't want these teams to catch up to us. I want PSG to win. I'll tell you why I want PSG to win. It's a little bit of maybe this is just me, because PSG is the only team in Europe with Italian nationals, and that just helps out the Italian national team. Since I support the Italian national team when it comes to international football, Italy, one of Italy's biggest weaknesses is that, you know, the players that play in the national team don't have much experience in the Champions League. So PSG having 3 players, Keane, Verratti, and Florenzi, can only be good for the national team. Because I want you guys to remember that every single national team that wins either the Euro Cup or the World Cup, those players are usually playing. I mean, let's go back early 2000, Brazil. The Brazil team that won in 2002, who was in that team? Cafu, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Leonardo, Kaká. Kaká was in that team, actually. Who else was there? Emerson, I think. A bunch of players. But all Roberto Carlos, Roque Jr., a lot of players. All those players that won that World Cup in 25, they were playing in Real Madrid. They were playing in Inter. They were playing in all the teams that were fighting for the Champions League. In 2006, when Italy won the World Cup, you know, Juventus and Milan, you know, you had Gattuso, Pirlo. They were winning the Champions League. You had Del Piero was playing the Champions League. Nesta playing the Champions League. Zambrotta playing the Champions League. Buffon playing the Champions League. You had a lot of players playing. Then in 2010, when Spain won, all those players were winning the Champions League with Barcelona. In 2014, when Germany won, all those players were winning the Champions League with Bayern. In 2018, France, you know, all these French players, Varane, Pogba, Mbappe, Giroud, all these players are playing in top European teams. So that experience is very, very important. It's a determined it's a factor in how the national team performs. Which brings me to something. I don't know if anybody is American here, but the U.S., for the first time in history, has a lot of players that are playing in big European teams, which means the national team will do really well. The national team will do really well. So this is why I'm going for PSG, because there are 3 Italian players, and it's crumbs, and I'm just going to go for those crumbs. Wilfried, what's up? Wilfried agrees. Golden Boy, I like PSG as well, but for me, I would love to see De Bruyne lifting that trophy. The guy is unreal. How many years do you personally think we need to be in that position to have a star like him? I don't think many. I don't think many. I think already, guys, I'm going to say right here, 2:37 p.m. Pacific time, April 14th, 2021. Milan already next year, if we make it into the Champions League, is going to become a big team. I don't know how far we'll get, but it's going to be a team that is already going to be making a lot of noise. That's how confident I am about AC Milan. I think in the space of 2 or 3 years, maybe 2, I think 3 is already even pushing it. In 2 years, Milan will have a team that is. I think Kessie is destined to be one of the best players in the world. I think Theo Hernandez is destined to be one of the best players in the world. I think Calabria is destined to be one of Italy's or Europe's best fullbacks. Benacer has that destiny. So we do have players that I think have the ability to become top European players. The reason why De Bruyne is a top European player is because he plays in Europe. And he has the ability to shine and to showcase his talent. Our players haven't been able to do that yet. But because of how AC Milan plays, this style of playing, this spirit, the tradition, the DNA, the club, as I was saying, a lot of players have the potential to become superstars. They're a flower that just needs to bloom. Milan is that water, that nutrient, that place where these flowers can bloom. So I say 2 years, 3 years, AC Milan can be up back on top. But the main factor here is not necessarily the players. The players give me 100% confidence. It's mostly the management. It's mostly who owns the club. You know, what's going to happen there? That's going to be a big factor in how well Milan does. You know, is Elliot Singer this the fudge the hedge man, this guy, is he going to give Milan the necessary funds to make Milan into this juggernaut that we want? So that's what's to be seen. You see, Berlusconi, the reason why Milan did so well is because they had a president named Berlusconi who was putting his soul spirit into the team. And if Berlusconi didn't have those tax problems where he owed 500 million in taxes, Milan would have still been the same. We never would have had the end of Milan would have never happened. But right now, the Milan will still probably be under Berlusconi. But the problem is that he had that 500 million tax lawsuit. So, they just couldn't spend. They couldn't invest on the team. So that's where I am not so confident. I don't know. Those are the questions I want to ask. Is Elliot Singer, is he for real? Is Elliot for real? Is this company, is this a hedge fund for real? As far as the management goes, I have 100% confidence in Maldini. Maldini is an absolute legend of the game, and he's doing an excellent job. If Man City wins this Champions League, it is possible they could go on and win the quadruple this season, and the first club, I guess, in history from the top 5 leagues to do it. That would be some record. Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, shit, $1 billion team. If they don't win 4, at least 1, at least 2. Milan is one of those teams that don't need a very great team to win the Champions. It's in our DNA. Personally, I think we just need quality players to reach the quarterfinals, and we can win it all. Yeah, I think a lot of Milan players are made there. It comes down to the philosophy of the club, the traditions, the way they coach. The coaches. One thing though that we have to look. One thing that we have to look is the coaches. Let's look at the coaches that won with AC Milan in these last 30 years. Sacchi, legendary coach. Okay, one of the greatest coaches of the game. Capello, as far as his resume is, top coach. Ancelotti, top coach. Pioli, is Pioli the same caliber as those 3 coaches that won the Champions League in the last 30 years? That's a question to be asked. Elliot is a hedge fund. They will increase the value of the club and will sell at a profit. Yeah. If they do that, great. I'm not against that. If they can do that, and right now the team is winning and the team is being successful, so the stock is definitely going up. And if they make it into the Champions League, they will have that kind of transfer market. So it's all good. Elliot mentioned this from the time they first acquired the club. Yeah. I mean, this is what hedge funds do. That's the whole point of trading. They want to increase the value of something and then sell it and keep the profit. That's what these guys do. So let's see who they sell it to if they do that, and also Milan has to keep on winning. All right, okay, let's go to this news item here. All right, last 2 news items of the day, guys, and then we are going to close for today, and we will see you again soon. So I'm going to give you guys a prize if you can pronounce that word right there, that name. But imagine having that player with that name in Milan. It'll be a disaster. AC Milan faced a battle against 2 teams if they were to land Rubin Kazan star Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. According to a report. This guy, I'm going to call him this guy. Ambition is to be the protagonist in one of the top 4 European leagues, and this is why the rumors have begun to swirl, with Milan having a concrete interest in him. According to the information collected by calciomercato.it, not only Milan are interested in the player, as Juventus are also keen. Some overseas clubs have also started talking to the player's entourage, and among them is Ajax. The report adds that a meeting between the representatives of the Dutch club and the winger's entourage is expected soon to evaluate if there are grounds to move forward. To snatch him from Rubin Kazan, an amount close to 20 to 25 million would be needed, plus a percentage on future resale. The player has 4 goals and 8 assists in 22 Premier League games. All right. So this is another player that is on the radar of AC Milan. Let's see if I don't know him very well, so I can't tell, but he is a teenager. So this guy is a teenager, and he's already playing, and he's already worth 20 million, 25 million, and he's playing for Rubin Kazan. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. Georgian soccer player. Guys, who was a Georgian AC Milan legend? Let's see if you guys know. Who was a Georgian AC Milan legend? Well, he's not a teenager. He's 20 years old. That doesn't make him a teenager. Is a Georgian professional footballer who plays as a winger for Russian Premier League, age 20 years old. He's not a teenager. You see, guys, this was an example of fake news. Ladies and gentlemen, we are dealing with fake news. This player is not a teenager. He's 20 years old. You're not a teenager if you're 20. All right. Well, so screw this guy. I don't care about him anymore. Roy, would you like to see the oil money or the Louis Vuitton money for Milan? Is LV Louis Vuitton? Oil money all day, man. Oil money is endless. Oil money is billions and billions and billions. So, yeah, Joel. A plus Joel. You got it. Kakaber Kaladze. You got it, Joel. I will take the oil money because there's a lot more money in the. Well, I mean, the fashion industry is big too, but I mean, at the end of the day, honestly, it doesn't matter whether it's oil, whether it's fashion, whether it can be whatever, as long as the people that are invested in the project are really believe and want to create a great project. But I would say oil money because I probably assume there's more there. Roy, I would love to hear your opinion on this. Do you believe that our number 9 could really be cursed, or maybe we just didn't have any top striker this decade and we keep blaming our fate? Okay. Who were the number 9s after Inzaghi? So I think Fernando Torres was one. Piontek was another one. Mandzukic now. Who am I missing? I'm missing a bunch. Baka, what was it? Baka. There are a bunch of number 9s. Is it cursed? Is it cursed? No, it's not cursed. Because if you believe it's cursed, then you believe in supernatural events that are tied to that number. Maybe it's a psychological thing because that number has been worn by players that have made the history of this team. Van Basten, Inzaghi are to mention two. Then going back even before that, I believe Altafini. I could be wrong about that. Oh my God, this one was the worst one. That one there, oh my Lord. That one there was just a disaster. But no, I think it's just a matter of Milan not buying a number 9 that is worthy of that position. Belotti wouldn't be cursed. If Belotti was to be given the number 9, he wouldn't be cursed. No, don't give the number 9 to Belotti. Yes. Destro as well. Left my ass. Yeah. Destro, right. Pazzini. Remember Milan had Pazzini too. Yeah, I think it's mostly because we never got a replacement of the level of those players. All right, let's go to our last Higuain. Good one. Higuain could have actually restored integrity to that number. He could have done it, but Higuain has a hot head. Remember how freaking what the fuck? Was he on steroids or something? Like, do you remember when he was playing for us? Like, he'd get angry, he'd get pissed off. He was telling everybody around him to go fuck themselves. He was waving his hands. He got red cards every 2 games. Like, dude, chill out, man. Chill out. You're playing football. You're getting paid millions. You have 60,000 people shouting and screaming your name. Like, what the fuck are you angry about? Jesus. Let's be clear here. The number 9 is cursed for the past 10 years. Yeah. I mean, really, it's right after Inzaghi. After Inzaghi left that number 9, Inzaghi cursed the number 9. That's what happened. Inzaghi left a curse on that number 9. Inzaghi he did it. His work, his contribution to AC Milan did it. Mandzukic is definitely not going to restore integrity to that number. Belotti. All right, here we go. Let's look at this item right here, which I thought was very interesting in seeing. Let me go. He went these days looking like a Viking with that bald head and that funny beard. Yeah. I've never really figured out Higuain, Like, what that spell he had with AC Milan made no sense. I felt it's because he felt as if he was a Juventus reject. I felt he felt rejected, and he displayed that resentment on the field with the AC Milan shirt. It's almost like he was bad for us. If there's one of the players I would take away from our history is Higuain. Another one is Bonucci. Who else? Shevchenko's second return. No, thank you. He shouldn't have come back. Sandaros. You guys remember Sandaros, the Swiss defender? There are a bunch of players that I felt that was like, what? Why do we spend money on these players again? Anyway, let's look at this report here on Kalulu, which is very interesting. Let's see what Kalulu says. This is going to be I believe, one of our last or second to last report of the day. AC Milan defender Pierre Kalulu has discussed his best role and the team's target for the season during an interview with sports media. After the initial skepticism towards him, Kalulu continues to show that he can play both right back and center back to a more of an adequate standard in Italy. To a more of an adequate standard. Okay? This is how we're measuring this player. And the large margins for improvement are evident. Milan paid 500K for this player. Wow, man! If we can get this player to become semi decent, like we could sell him for and make good profit. From Lyon, and once again, the Rossoneri scouting department has proven to be effective because just 16 appearances into his AC Milan career, he already appears to be worth much more than what was paid months ago. Absolutely, Maldini, Gazidis, getting the job done. Let me see what you guys are writing over here. I'll get into that back. Let's see. He made a mistake by leaving Napoli. Could have been a proper legend for a club. Yes, 100%. Did you see the news about Ibra that came today? Some Swedish channel talking about Ibra. They said Ibra owns a share in some betting company and that's against FIFA rules and he could be banned. I did read those reports. I decided not to report on that today unless it is 100% sure. But I did see that report, and it's definitely a topic that we are going to bring up. The 20-year-old has proven to be up to the task, and when called upon, he has not yet disappointed despite his lack of experience. And Kalulu even earned the accolade of man of the match during a Coppa Italia penalty shootout win over Torino. So this is the meat and potatoes of this. Let's get to it. Kalulu spoke to sports media about his start to life at Milan, with his comments transcribed by Milan News and translated below. All right, so let's see how Kalulu is doing so far. On his first Milan goal against Genoa, I remember well, it was a strong emotion, beautiful, but fast enough because we were losing. I was happy. So now Kalulu comes full circle. He started his playing career at AC Milan against Genoa last season, where he scored that goal. And now 1 year later, seasonal year later, not 1 year, like 365 days later, 1 seasonal year later, he's back at Genoa with potentially starting lineup, in the potential starting lineup. On his best role on the pitch, center back or full back. I know I always try to do my best in both roles. Then where I express, okay, who the fuck writes this shit? Then where? Like, who is writing this shit? Like, can't you like read what you write and correct it? Then where I express oh my Lord. Who? All right. Let's keep on reading. That is where I express myself best. What? Then where I express myself doesn't really matter to me. Who the hell wrote this thing? Okay, obviously the person that wrote this is not very proficient in English, but I'll just read it the way it's written. Then where I express myself best doesn't really matter to me because I don't make the decision. Then where I express myself best. Oh my God. Terrible English, guys. This is terrible English. The coach has to decide where to let me play. Where I prefer to play is not important. Okay. On the home performance of Milan, it is true that it is important to... Okay, so now they asked him what's going on with Milan, and the home performances. It is true that it is important to return to winning at San Siro in order to hope to achieve our goal. That is to return to play the Champions League next year. This is what I want to hear. This is what we all want to hear. This is what the team is fighting for. This is what the team has to achieve. On the competition for the Champions League, am I worried? No, he says. It's normal. It's a tough championship with strong teams like us. The competition from the other teams behind us gives us even more desire to play the remaining matches. I like that. Nice. Positive. So aside from the terrible English, good article. Kalulu is potentially world-class. Maldini still. Hopefully. I really hope. He looks solid. He looks very solid, I don't really have... The negative things I have to say about Kalulu is his offensive wing play. I think his offensive wing play is kind of weak. I'm not a big fan of how he plays in that position. I think he needs to do much better in that position because it's quite It's not very good. And I think he mentions it also. Basically, when Kalulu moves up the field and he plays in this area right here, his decision making in this area right here is very suspect. His crosses are not good. Like, I haven't seen a lot of good crosses. His play in this area, his possession play in this area sometimes is, it's a little bit lacking. He's good here in this area here, and he's good here in this area right here. But if there's one area of the field where I would like to see him improve, is his creativity in this area right there. I think there's a lot to be worked on right there. Lille are doing wonders, top of the league. Wow, Lille, huh? Top of League One table now, and having a young squad with so much potential. I would like Milan to go after Akane or Yazici. They're much better upgrade. Akane is very good. I've seen Ikone's highlight reel. He's not as good as Belotti, but he is very good. He is definitely a very interesting player. Yazici, I don't know him. I'll check him out. Kalulu is a gem. The guy is 19. That's a teenager because it says it in your age. 19, not 20. And already looking like it's his prime. He needs some improvement in staying focused the all game, but you get that with experience. I like his speed and the way he runs. Yeah, he's got speed. He's got a good stride with the ball. He's got decent possession with the ball, decent technique. It's just that area right there needs work. Ibra has been targeted this lately. The restaurant, the red card, the lion thing, and now the share in a betting company. Not a good look. Yeah, that's a good point. This period is pretty negative for him as far as media perception goes. To be honest, Kalulu plays better center back after I saw him in both positions. His only flaw is his aerial challenges so far, but that can develop. Yeah, I agree with you, Keto. I definitely agree with you. That's his best position is the defense. So if you had him here as the number 6 here in this case, and he covers this area well. Roy Yazici is the one who humiliated Milan at San Siro in the Europa League. Oh, okay. I think I know who you're talking about. Was he the winger? Was he the right winger? I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, no. I know that team has a lot of youngsters. Ikone is their star, number 10, right? He's their number 10. I think it's a team that could potentially have some very interesting profiles that can be very, very good. But yeah, as far as Kalulu goes, for sure, his weakness is his crossing and his creativity, but his defensive ability is pretty good. It is pretty good. All right, ladies. Well, actually, I think it's only gentlemen, but I will still say ladies and gentlemen. We are moving on to our last report of the day. And that is training. Samare for the midfield and Botman for the defense. I've heard this name before, Samare. I have not heard the name Botman before. But if these players are doing well in Lille, I would assume that they could make a step. So yeah, absolutely. Lille has very interesting players. Kalulu should be playing as a center back. I definitely agree, Golden Boy. He doesn't have it in him right now to play as a right back because his decision making is not that good. Playing as a DM, he can get lead in skills. A defensive midfielder, yeah. That is also. I'm assuming that's what you're saying, Golden Boy. DM, defensive midfielder. we haven't seen him in that position, but it looks like he does have the qualities to play in that position. So yeah, why not? Why not? All right, guys. So today the squad is taking a break, a siesta, but yesterday they were doing a training, and let's see what the team did yesterday. The second training session of the week took place this morning at Milanello. So this is from 13th of April. I think for some of you guys, it's the 15th of April. I'm the 14th. The second training session of the week took place this morning at Milanello, with the team continuing in their preparations for the next match in the league, which will see the Rossoneri in action against Genoa on Sunday 18th at 12:30 Central Eastern Time. So that's here in the U.S. Paolo Maldini, or is it? I don't know. Paolo Maldini and Frederic Massara were also present at Milanello. So yesterday, Maldini and Massara were present. Training began in the gym for some muscle activation before the team made their way out of the pitch, where they completed a series of themed rondos. So for anybody who doesn't know what a rondo is a training exercise that that looks like this. I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is what a rondo is. Basically, you have just look at the players on this half. So the most basic rondo is when you have one player in the middle, and then the players around him keep in possession, one touch or two touches, and the player in the middle has to get the ball. But you have different theme rondos. You can do different kind of rondos. You can have two players, and let's say these players here can only stay behind this line, and these players here can only stay in this line, and then these two players. And basically, this is one of those kind of themed rondos that you do to practice moving from one section of the field into the other. So let's say defense to midfield. You can have three. So this is one of the trainings that, for example, I do a lot with players, is you have three players on one side. You have three teams, A, B, and C. And the whole goal is to filter the ball from, let's say, one line to the next line. Defense to midfield, midfield to defense, defense to offense, and the players in the middle are the defenders that need to coordinate with each other, close the channels, everything in a space. And then let's say if these guys win the ball against these guys, then these guys go in the middle and these guys take that side. So there's many different kind of training drills and rondos that you can do to improve possession. And basically, it's all about creating space in order to pass the ball through those channels. So I guess that is what AC Milan has been working on. Kalulu should be playing as center. Let's see. He would play as a good DM as well. Pioli never tried him there. He has grinta, good technique. He can shield the ball and be strong. He would be very good as a defensive. Yeah, I think so too. I think he can play as a defensive midfielder. I think he has those qualities. It looks like he does. 3-5-2 with more Kido. Oh, actually, let's read Eastboard. If I was Pioli, I would like to try and test Kalulu from the right wing position. I would not. Sorry, Eastboard. I really wouldn't do it in training and see if he's versatile enough, because he got the pace, and if he could dribble rather than watching Samuel play. As I was saying, this is obviously it comes down to interpretation and opinion. Everything is subjective. Everything is objective. Everything is just opinions. But from what I saw, I don't like what Kalulu looks like when he plays in this area right here. Okay. When he plays in that area, to me, he's quite suspicious. He's quite suspicious. For example, against Udinese, he kept on getting baited into crossing the ball rather than his decision making was really bad, and his crosses did not impress me. That's my opinion. That's what I saw. That's my interpretation. Different people see different things, but that's just me. 3-5-2 with more static position in the back, 2 wing backs, Theo Calabria, Sali, who join attack. Yes, and we looked at this also before the 3-5-2. But Akido, who would you sacrifice? Because you're adding an extra defensive defender, which would be, I'm assuming in this case, it would be Romagnoli, right? So 3-5. So 3 midfielders, the 2 wing backs, and the 2 strikers. 3-5-2, right? That's what you're saying. So obviously the 2 wing backs are Calabria and Theo. Romagnoli, Tomari, Kjaer are the 3, or Kalulu or whatever. But who are you sacrificing here? If you're going to have 3 midfielders, 3 real midfielders, you need Tonali, Benacer, Kessie. And Çalhanoğlu is either going to play as a second striker or maybe a 3-5-1-1, a 3-5-1-1. But you have to do a bunch of sacrifices. Or maybe you can play a 3-4-1-2 if you don't want to sacrifice Çalhanoğlu and have him play there in that midfield position. But, who are you going to sacrifice in a 3-5-2? Who are you going to sacrifice? You're going to have to sacrifice 2 players, a winger and your attacking midfielder. So so Kido, you're saying put Çalhanoğlu in the 3. Pull Çalhanoğlu in the 3. So maybe offensively, Ibrahimovic, Rebic, based on the formation today. So basically, you would sacrifice Salamakers for Romagnoli. That's the swap we're making. We're taking Salamakers out of this position and replacing him with Romagnoli, putting Romagnoli here on the left because he's left-footed. But Çalhanoğlu is not a defensive midfielder, so you would want to put him in a little bit of more advanced position. Or you could put him as a mezzala, put Benacer or Kessie in the middle, and have Benacer and Çalhanoğlu, become that third option as a mezzala. Basically, when Milan would attack, this is what Milan would look like when they attack in a 3-5 with Çalhanoğlu on the pitch. Milan would look like this. You'd have the 2 strikers floating in the box, maybe one Rebic going to the middle, going to the side. You have Theo coming all the way up. You have Calabria coming all the way up. And then you have the inserimenti of Çalhanoğlu in these channels right here. So he could add on. And then you have your cover here of the midfield of the 2 players. And then the 3 defenders covering. So that's what your offensive line would look like when they become offensive. And obviously, if Kessie likes to get himself in the box too. So basically, this is what it will look like. If you get a really offensive Milan team in a 3-5-2, you would have these guys all the way down here. You'd have Kessie and Çalhanoğlu add into the space, and Benacer usually tends to float on top of the box. Yeah, it can work. I mean, my whole thing about this formation when we looked at it earlier was, do we really need 3 defenders? that was what I was looking at. Do we really want to have 3 defenders when we can and sacrifice an outfield player? The problem with the 3-5-2 is that because of the space, okay, in a defensive posture, a 3-5-2 looks like this. All right. When you're playing the 3-5-2 defensively, it looks like this. And then you have either ones coming to close the spaces here, or maybe close the channels here. And then you have your striker floating where the defenders are here on the line. The problem with the 3-5-2 that I've seen is that there's a lot of space here in this area right here. And for example, if the ball is on this side of the field, you have a lot of space there. And usually what I tend to see is that the wing back is not here. The wing back is here on the line because the players are pushing. These players are coming down and they're pushing the wing back here. But it creates a lot of numerical advantage on this area of the pitch. And it is one of the reasons why I see a 3-5-2 usually not dominate in possession, is because it's difficult to get the ball back from the midfield in a 3-5-2 because of the wings being pretty exposed. I'm not a big fan of the 3-5-2, in my opinion. But it works. It's nice. It's good. Conte makes it work really nice. Allegri made it work really nice. I mean, it's there. It's an option. Why not use it? If we can use it, it's an option. All right. Golden Boy says, we can't play 3-5-2 to play that formation. You need to have very quick strikers, and we don't have that with Ibra and Rebic. Plus, Ibra is too old to run all the time because that formation plays counterattack. And yeah, that's actually also, yes, because we fuck up man marking all the time. Yeah. Kido. Yeah, that is true. This formation is a very counterattack kind of formation. It almost seems designed for counterattacks, and you're relying a lot on those wingers. It's an interesting formation. It's definitely an interesting formation. I've dabbled in that formation a little bit in my experience. The current formation is best for Milan. We already have a decent defense in midfield. We just need an upgrade in the attack, especially both the wings. Yeah, I think it works. I think the formation we have works. I think it works. I think it does work. The question is Salamakers. Is Salamakers really the player that can take AC Milan by storm? Is Salamakers that player that can make AC Milan? He's going to score more goals. If Salamakers starts scoring goals, that spot is going to become his. That's what he needs to do. He needs to start scoring goals. Unless he doesn't do that, us Milan fans, we're going to be looking for more. We want more. But, we spoke about this earlier. The only other player you can really work around in order to create new formations is just Salamakers. And Kido, you brought a good point. Romagnoli is one of those players, so you could sacrifice Salamakers either for Romagnoli or either for Tonali and change the formation that way. If Donnarumma ends up leaving, who would be your ideal replacement? This is a tough one because goalkeepers, they don't need to be the best in order for you to have a top winning team. But you as long as the goalkeeper you have is a top 10, top 20 goalkeeper, you should be fine. So, I mean, let's look at the past. Dida, okay, Dida was maybe top 10 goalkeeper at his prime. Like, he definitely wasn't number one. Was he number two? I don't think so. Was he number three? I don't think so. Was he number four? I mean, you had Buffon, you had Casillas, you had a lot of other goalkeepers when he was playing. Sebastiano Rossi never even made it to the. He was never made it even to the national team. So it's a difficult. It's difficult. Cranio, yeah, Cranio could be one. There are a bunch of young keepers. Meret actually is good. I like Meret. I'm not so worried about who the replacement is going to be. I mean, Tatarusano did great, you know. The thing is, the advantage that we have with Donnarumma is that Donnarumma is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and he's only 22. So having that in your backyard is a big advantage. You know, having that in your backyard, why would you let that go if you already have it in your backyard? Yeah, the goalkeeper position is a little bit of a conundrum. As long as whoever you get is a level goalkeeper, it's not going to change that much the outcome of your season. Donnarumma, let's just keep Donnarumma. How about that? Let's just keep Donnarumma. Yeah, we spoke about Ikone earlier for the right wing. That would be nice. Yeah, my ideal player for the right wing would be Berardi, because he's already has experience. He's a captain of Sassuolo. He's phenomenal on the ball. I love the way Berardi. I mean, phenomenal is a big word, but he's really good. With Salamakers, always, I have no clear idea what player he is. Maybe it's his age, but probably he doesn't always perform. But his football skills are great. Just his shots up. Yeah. And, the difference that I saw, for example, in Kalulu and Salamakers is Salamakers actually in this position here is very good. When he receives the ball in this area of the field, the way he receives the ball, his first touch, the way he positions his body before the first touch is always good. It's always good. Because remember, look, check it out. If, let's say, a defender too is coming here, let's say Çalhanoğlu, passes the ball to Salamakers, it's your first touch that matters, right? So his first touch is always good. He's always going to do a first touch that is going to shield the ball, and he can still can still control the rhythm of the game, and then either like bring it over here, have the fullback do what you call it, an overlap, and then pass a through ball right there to Calabria, and Calabria crosses it in. That position, that specific assignment, Salamakers is very good at, and we can't really say he's not, because he's been the starting player in a team that is second in the Serie A. He was part of a team that won all those games in a row. I mean, what can we say about it? But yes, his shooting is weak, his assist rate is low, but his technique is really good. His technique and his IQ is good. His football IQ is good. Tatarusanu. I feel if Milan doesn't go for a proper right wing next season, then they might play with a different formation, or he must accept and watch Samu balling. Watch Samu balling in the Champions League. No, look, Milan has to get another player there. They have to, and I think Ari said this, or Lyert said this, that Salamakers is a great second choice to have. He's only 21. He has a lot to learn. He's going to clean a lot of socks before being able to be called a champion. So, like Berardi and Salamakers, those are my two right wingers. I'm happy. for next season. Joga Benito says, in order to get the next level as Inter are, we either need to spend big on an attacker or get the next KDB, Kevin De Bruyne. Man, we have a next KDB. Kessie is the next KDB. There you go. Hakim Ziyech. Don't know him. They keep Tatarusano there as an auntie because he looks like they need his auntie love. Oh, you guys are killing me here. Berardi more safe, and he's already in his prime, but I think Ikone has more upside. Yeah, Ikone is young. I think Ikone is still part of the under 21 of France. I think he's a starter in the under 21. Berardi, but I would rather have right now, because we're going in the Champions League. Hey, if we have Berardi and Ikone, great. If I were to choose between the two, I would take Berardi because Berardi is already national team player. He's probably going to be a starter in the Euros. Right now, he's definitely winning that race for the right wing. I mean, Chiesa is also there, but Berardi. I want to do a video. I'm going to do a video on Berardi and the players I would like to see at AC Milan next season. And I was going through his highlight reel. My God, Berardi is I went through Ikone's highlight reel too because I was very curious. But Berardi is technically he's got more, and Berardi is a really good player. But you're right about Ikone. Potentially, there's more there. Saif Najar says, I personally don't think that Chala is the cam that we must rely on next season for the league, and especially for the UCL. I love him to bits, but wouldn't mind him leaving and see us playing a 4-4-2. Really? You would like to see AC Milan play a 4-4-2? So let me ask you a question, Saif. In your 4-4-2, who are the wingers? And who are the strikers? So let's already assume that in a 4-4-2, Kessie and Benasser. Kessie. Okay, basically, guys, this is what. Where's my 5? Okay, this is what it's supposed to look like. Bada bing, bada boom. So in a 4-4-2. Obviously, these two here are Kessie and Benasser. Salamakers could be a winger. Rebic, is he a midfield winger? I don't know if he can be a midfield winger. So who would you have? Because Çalhanoğlu is out of the picture. So who would be your wingers? Your strikers would be Ibra and Rebic, or Ibra or whoever will come. But in a 4-4-2, you need wingers. You need like midfield wingers. You need players like Salamakers. Salamakers is a perfect midfield winger. Not an attacking winger, a midfield winger. On this side, we would need to get a player like Rebic. I mean, I'm assuming Rebic would go there, but who would you get from there? Zakani is a midfield winger. All right, let's keep on going. Interesting, though, Saif. Esborn says, Salamakers is too slow in making decisions. He's good for the defense part, but attacking-wise, he's been very poor, so we need a right wing who could attack, dribble, and good at crosses, creative, and good at shots. Yes, Esborn. Absolutely. And to me, that player, that perfect profile is Berardi. Ikone already has 4 caps for the senior team and scored 1 goal. He's the future of France. I mean, yes. Guys, if you're the future of France, that means you're one of the best players in the world, because France is that big of a footballing country. As much as it hurts to say that, but it is the truth. So, absolutely, Ikone seems to be one of the future stars of France. And if he comes to Milan, it's all good. I'm not complaining. Roy, I've seen what you've been saying about Berardi, and I completely agree. I think he would be great. Looks like he doesn't care about money, just loves football, and also he is a leader. Absolutely. I'm very impressed with the player. His highlight reel is amazing, and his numbers are great. He's a captain of a team. He already has experience of being able to carry a city over his shoulders. He's a national team player, as I was saying earlier. Again, it comes down to the same conversation as Belotti. Like, what are you going to do for the rest of your career? Are you going to fight for the 8th, 10th place for the rest of your career? Don't you want a challenge? Don't you want to see if you are able to compete at the highest level? I hope he does. I hope. And I also, another interesting thing, De Zerbi, the Sassuolo coach, I was watching one of his interviews. He said that he thinks Sassuolo needs a new cycle. They need to sell a lot of players and get new players. Hopefully, he's thinking of selling Berardi. I don't know, but hopefully. Theo left. Okay, so Joga Benito brings up a really good point here. Joga Benito brings up a really good point. Theo Hernandez could play as a left midfielder for sure. Absolutely. He definitely could play in that position and get a better fullback. I mean, defensively fullback, or get another good fullback. I don't know who this player is. Mikolenko, I'm assuming he's Ukrainian. I'm not really familiar with this player. Is he my question to you, Joga Benito, is he a starter in the national team or the under 21s? That's what I look at. If you are in the rotation of the national team, that means you're good. You're good to go. Hagwe as a left midfielder. Yeah, Hagwe. We got to see if Hagwe can do the defensive work, because in a 4-4-2, your mentality as a winger in a 4-4-2 is of a midfielder. Your space. So if we were to look at the whole field, your space is here, and then you count when the team attacks, when it moves up, you combine with the left, with the fullback, with the overlaps, or you can do the overlaps. But your focus is here. Hagwe plays here. This is where Hagwe plays. Can he do the work over here? Can he be effective in this area of the field? We'll see. To be seen, to be determined. 4-4-2 does help Leão, as he does great as a secondary striker. Okay, yeah, Leão as a second striker in a 4-4-2, yes, that can work, because he can, like, for example, a combination between Ibra and Leão, like Leão, you could use Leão for the depth, right? So what does that mean? You can have two strikers, and you ask one striker to play more as a target player and the other striker to create depth. What does create depth means? So that means that you have a striker that pushes the line, pushes the defensive line. So let's say if you are a striker and that is your defensive line, you're always pushing the line back. So you're making the runs into the channels, into the open spaces, and you're always just bringing the defense back, and you're creating depth, right? And if you have a high line like this, and you can get a player like, let's say, Ibrahimovic to be the playmaker, which he can be, you can have these kind of plays where you can exploit Leao's speed and go through the lines and pass the ball through the lines and meet him on the other side, and then it's a one-on-one on goal. So that is something that you can exploit Leão with. One thing you can't do with Leão is ask him to do what the number 10 does. He can't do that. He can't do that. Like, he cannot do that. You have to give him a space. You have to give him. So yeah, in a 4-4-2, Leão as a second striker, definitely. As a midfielder, winger, midfielder, no, I don't know. I think, again, it comes down, what are you going to do in this area here when you don't have the ball and when you do have the ball? Because playing here with the ball in this area, when everything when the other team is covering all these positions is a different mentality than playing here. Because here you're on the attack. Here it's your job to create or to make things happen. Here it's your job not to lose the ball. So you have to be very careful. You take less risks, right? Because this is something that coaches will tell you as far as creativity goes, and something that is taught a lot. In this area here, 25% creativity. In this area here, 45% creativity. In this area here, 65% creativity. In this area here, 75, 85% creativity. In this area here, 100% creativity. So, does he have the mental ability to play that position there? I don't think so. All right, let's keep on reading some. We can't play a different formation than this one we have right now. Every other formation needs the main guy to be working hard. Only 4-2-3-1 has a guy on top to use him as a target. So let me get this straight. We can't play a different formation than this one we have right now. Every other formation needs the main guy to be working hard. Every other formation needs the main guy to be working hard. So are you saying, Golden Boy, that the striker in this position doesn't need to work hard as a target man? And when you mean, you're saying like he doesn't need to defend, right? Because in a 4-2-3-1, if you're the coach, you're probably not going to ask the center forward to defend. You're going to be, hey, just be available to be as a target man. Yeah, I mean, as the forwards we have, it makes sense to play this way, I guess. But there are other ways that Milan can play, I think. Kido, already got to go. Take care. Let's do this again. Enjoy conversing with you and other fans. Really hope during these crazy times. Take care until the next time. Thank you, Kido, for being here. Forza Milan. Really appreciate you chilling out with the RossonARI TV family. By the way, guys, speaking of the RossonARI TV family, we are doing a little game right now. We are making a RossonARI fan choice AC Milan formation. Right now, we just started with the goalkeeper. It looks like Dida is on the lead. So as soon as this formation is done, the formation is going to be a 4-2-3-1. We're going to have 3 legendary players and 1 player from the current team. It's up to you guys and whoever wants to participate to vote for who the starting 11 is going to be. Right now, the goalkeeper seems to be done deal. Dida is the RossonARI TV goalkeeper. And we will make nice videos about all these players. Okay, let's read a few more. Saif Najar says, Donnarumma, Calabria, Tomorrow, Salamanca, Kessi, Benassi. Okay. So now there you're adding a player that I don't know. I don't know that player. Who does he play for? Yes, Milenko is Ukrainian. I'm Ukrainian too. And Milenko from Dinakia is very good. Sigankov for right midfield would be nice. Chuba Berardi would be better though. Okay. Mikolenko, is he in the national team? That's what I want to know. If he's, because okay, Ukraine has produces a lot of talent. Is one of those countries that produces a lot of talent. So usually, the players that are playing in the national team are always very interesting. Of course, AC Milan. We know all about Ukrainian talent. So. Always interesting. Keep it 4-2-3-1. Lone Wolf says, buy an actual attacking midfielder and a right winger. Hakan for me isn't good enough against defenses we see in Serie A. I love to see someone like Orsolini have a right wing. I mean, I've heard this discussion about Orsolini, but Orsolini has to impose himself. In Bologna, he has to do a little bit better, I think. 4-4-2, we're not so both Casemiro says. They have that ability which fits really well for the double pivot role. I agree, Zbor. I actually agree with that. I think this Benacer Kessie tandem in a 4-2, in that 2 there, works really well. It works really well. Diego Costa played as a target man in 4-4-2 in Atletico. Diego Costa is a good target man. He's physical. He's a fighter. He is a number 9. He's got good technique with the ball, so he can move the ball around. He's good, yeah. If you play with 2 strikers like Inter, you need a guy like Lukaku to run all the time, but Ibra doesn't have the age to do that. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Milan, the way Inter plays, Inter definitely relies, in that 4-3-2 formation, Inter relies a lot on the ability of Lukaku's stride with the ball. The closest thing we have that is Leão, but Leão is nowhere close to being as decisive as Leão. Do you think Saki's tactic would work today, considering he practically invented the high press? Do you think Saki's tactics would work? I mean, look, Saki played, I think he played a 4-4-2, if I'm not mistaken. He just played a 4-4-2, high press. Well, the thing about Saki is this, all right? So I might get a little bit of crap for this, but Gullit in 88 and 89, I believe, the 88-89 season won the Ballon d'Or, all right? So Milan that season bought a Ballon d'Or winner. It's like, let's say Milan buys the Ballon d'Or winner. Then the year after that, who won the Ballon d'Or after that? Marco van Basten. So that team was stacked, okay? That team was stacked with Ballon d'Or winners. I mean, imagine having a team where one year your striker wins a Ballon d'Or, then the other year the next striker wins a Ballon d'Or. So I think his tactics would work, yes, but it really comes down to the players, because when Saki came back, I believe it was in 98 or 97, Saki came back. It was a different Milan team. The team didn't even make the top 4 in the Serie A when Saki was back. So it's tough. It's tough. I think players have a lot to do with it, but obviously the coach is a big part of it. That's my answer for that question. Yes, it's Zinchenko. I've heard of Zinchenko. No, Orsolini, please. He's another Suso. Decision-making very weak. He had enough with players like that in that position. Now we need a top guy to create at least 4 good chances in the game and get goals. Yeah, again, my perfect profile is Berardi. And Pavlo Divac agrees with Golden Boy. And I think we all are in agreement with that. Definitely. Okay, so we were just ending a report here. We are going to do the last report of the day. We were doing the Milan report. Oh, yeah, we were going over the rondos and all that good stuff. Guys, 3 hours today. Not bad. Let's see. Where was I? I don't have that. Here it is. Got it. All right. So we were reading the training report. So their way out of the pitch, training began in the gym for some muscle activation. Pretty cool. Before the team made their way out to the pitch, where they completed a series of themed rondos as their warm-up. Following this, the team carried out some technical exercises. So technical exercises, for example, with the cones, where you dribble around the cones, you instruct the player outside, inside, half scissor. You tell the players what kind of dribble you want them to perform, and then they just repeat that dribble over and over. That's a good way to exercise technique. Before the tactical part of today's session, a match on a reduced size pitch So for anybody who wants to know or already does know, usually teams and coaches like to play matches on reduced size pitches because that makes the space smaller, but it also forces the players to play faster. And the theme of a lot of AC Milan's trainings of this past month has been speed. So when you want to train your team to play fast possession and fast football, you put them in a reduced size pitch, and because there's less space, you have to think faster and you have to play faster. So I'm assuming that the purpose of this training with technical exercises, themed rondos, and reduced pitch is all about being technically proficient in fast play and in reduced play. So this is offensive football, basically playing in the last third quarters of the field. Okay, let's look at what the players look like in training. Yeah, hey, look at Leão with the earring. Okay, if I was a coach, I wouldn't allow them to wear earrings. It's like, man, this is not the club, man. This is training. You're training here. Take that earring off. Kessi, take the earring off. Çalhanoğlu. Okay, so this is, I guess, is the themed rondos we were talking about. Ibra, Salamakers. Who is that? Is that Rebic? Yeah, they look focused. Ibrahimovic with the volley. Nice. Chala. What's his name? Brahim. Tonali. Dalot. Pioli with the timer and the whistle. So usually coaches always have a timer around their neck. Romagnoli, Rebic. So Romagnoli, as we were saying, he's back in action. I guess these are the technical drills that they were doing. It looks like there's a guy waiting there. It looks like it could be technical drills. Is this maybe one-on-ones against keepers? Mandzukic, Donnarumma. Kjaer. Okay, so here you have the rondos in the background, the themed rondos. So this is the rondos. We're doing the rondos. Benacer, if anybody can tell me the name of this guy here. And look who we have here. Bonera. You got Krunic. You got Kalulu, Kessi. You have Mate, who's been doing really good. Guys, I'm really happy with how Mate has developed. I was very critical of Mate when he started with Milan. I was very critical of him, but I remember watching his highlight reel, and it looked really good. He looked like he was very good at keeping the ball as a defensive. His possession in the defensive midfield position was actually very good. I liked it a lot. So let's read a few more comments here. If Pioli tried to take his oh man, if Pioli tried to take his earring off, 100%, 100% loud would diss him in his next album. That is funny. Pavlo Diak says, I like this training. Ever since January, we've been playing at a slower pace and we're more stretched on the field due to injuries in a lot of matches. Hopefully, we rediscover first half season form. Yes. Yes, absolutely. It looks like that's what they're working for. Do you think we'll see Mandzukic or Leão instead of Ibra for the Genoa game? I think Leão will start because just of Mandzukic coming back from the injury. They're going to ease him into a fitness. So Mandzukic... I think Mandzukic is going to play second half, and Leão is going to start. All right, everybody, we have come to the end of all the reports that I wanted to share with the RossonARI TV family today. So we are going to go for 12 more minutes, and then we're going to cut it right there. So if there are any thoughts you guys want to share, want to talk about, let me know. if there are things that you think are important that we should discuss about this next game. Let's see. Let's look at the table one more time. Where are we? Okay. Let's go to the Serie A website, and we are going to just do a little bit more analysis for the next 12 minutes on the Serie A. And then we are going to close the stream for today. And let's see. Let's start with team statistics. Okay, goals. Yes, Atalanta is number 1, Inter number 2, Napoli number 3, Juventus number 4, Milan number 5. So we are 5th, an average of 1.9 goals per game, which is not bad. Man, look at Atalanta. Wow, that's Inter is up there too. Napoli is up there too. 1.9. Okay, team that has shot the most on goal in Serie A right now is Napoli with 486 shots on target, 223 off target. Milan is 4th. We are the 4th team with the most shots on goal. Assists. Atalanta is up. Man, Atalanta is dominating the offensive. Atalanta 2nd, Atalanta 1st, Atalanta 2nd, Atalanta 1st on assists. Well, they have the most goals, so it makes sense. This one here is very interesting. This one here, oh, by the way, look at where we are. We are 6th on assists with 35 assists. Crosses. This one here is very interesting because crossing the ball in football is a huge part of the game. It's a huge part of the game. A lot of your goals come from crosses. And your wingers, what the wingers do, and that's why I was saying Kalulu doesn't really, and again, it goes back to the discussion of Salamakers. Where are the crosses coming from? Look at Milan, we are 10th. Spezia, Parma, Udinese, Fiorentina, Sampdoria, these teams are on top of us as far as crosses go. So misplaced crosses, we have 188. Completed crosses 125, Inter 175, Juventus 1-4. So yeah, that says a lot about our wingers right there. Okay, so I think it was Joga Benito who mentioned Cranio from Cagliari. I might be wrong. So there you go. That's a good look for him. So he has the most saves. The team that is running the most. Oh my God, guys. What in the hell? Well, of course, Inter is first. Look at their average. Look at Conte. Look at what Conte does. If you want to play for Conte, you got to run. You got to run like a fucking maniac. Lazio, that's Inzaghi, Napoli, Gattuso. Of course, if you play for Gattuso, you got to run. You got to run. Genoa, Parma. So Milan is 14th as far as kilometers. Well, that says that the ball is doing most of the running. So, it is what it is. Post, crossbar. That one we don't care. Well, actually, let's look at that because look at Milan being first as far as posts and crossbars. So hit 19. We hit 19. We have a team that has hit the most posts and crossbars. Well, there's why we're not in the top 4 as far as goals. Corners, Juventus. So that says that a lot of Juventus is attacking a lot. Milan is top 3, attacking a lot. Offsides. Aha. Milan, number 1 in offsides in the Serie A. So who's messing up there? Who is messing up there? Ibra. Headed goals, Inter is number 1. Milan is 7th in conjunction with Lazio, Bologna, and Atalanta. Playing time, well, Torino. Playing time, average per match. I'm actually not sure what that's referring to. Ball possession. This is one I really wanted to look at. Look at this. I was expecting Milan to be much better. They're 10th. Juventus is number 1. Sassuolo number 2. De Zerbi. I wonder if De Zerbi could be a good option for AC Milan in the future. Gattuso number 3. Conte number 4. Very interesting statistics. Very interesting statistics. Let's just look at some player statistics. All right, top 15 goal scorers. Oh, we have some new comments here. Prediction. Okay, we're going to get into the predictions in a minute. Michael Asto, huge game. Inter Napoli and Atalanta Juve. We need a win. Yes, absolutely. This is a decisive weekend for the Serie A. This weekend is one of the most important weekends for the Serie A. Man, the Serie A is so exciting right now. It's so exciting. Next game is very important, Roy. Napoli, Inter, Atalanta. We need to use situations like this because we need to keep a gap between them. Top 4 is a must this season. Do or die. 100%. All right. Cristiano Ronaldo. With 25 goals. Romelu Lukaku with 21 goals. Luis Muriel from the bench with 18 goals. The Zlatan with 15 goals. I want to see the full table. I want to see where our players are at. So we have Zlatan Ibrahimovic with 15. The next player is Frank Kessie, a midfielder with 10 goals. Man, guys. I know he scores a lot of penalties, but if you're a defensive midfielder and you have 10 goals and the season is not over yet, I mean, we're talking about a top player, okay? Kessie is a top freaking player. Period. Okay, after Kessie, who's the next guy? It is Ante Rebic with 6 goals. Not good at all. Being attacking winner. Rafael Leão with 6 goals. Theo Hernandez, a defender with 4 goals. Very good number for a defender. He's at 59. Oh, wow. Look at Paulo Dybala. 70. Paulo Dybala right now is the 79th goal scorer in the Serie A. We have Brahim Diaz at 100 with 2 goals. Davide Calabria with 2 goals. Man, this one here, guys. What is this all about? What is this all about? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Hakan, you cannot ask for all that money and you're an attacking midfielder and you only have 2 goals. Hakan, 2 goals. Salamakers has 2 goals and he never scores. Diego Dalot has 1 goal. Kalulu has 1 goal. Alessio Romagnoli has 1 goal. Mate has a goal. I guess it was for when he scored with Torino. Yeah, no good, man. That stat there with Çalhanoğlu is just disappointing. Man, 2 goals. You should have at least 10 goals. Çalhanoğlu should at least have 10 goals. Oh, but look at that. Look at that. This is why he's asking for the money. He doesn't have the goals, but he's got the assists. He's number 1 in the Serie A for assists with Alvaro Morata, Mkhitaryan, and Federico Chiesa, Duvan Zapata. I guess that's why he's asking for the money, because of that stat right there. Key passes. He's top 4 as far as key passes. So basically, key passes are assists the assist before the assist, or the assist before the assist before the assist, or plays like that. Domenico Berardi right there. Rodrigo De Paul, a player that we're very interested in. Top 15 recoveries. Wow, no Milan players, huh? No Milan players in recoveries. Kilometers run. Marcelo Brozovic, Barella. You have two Inter there. Frankesi, of course. Kilometers run. Frankesi is going to be in the top 10. I thought he was going to be maybe even number 1. Top fouls. Andrea Bellotti. Look at that, guys. Andrea Bellotti, the player that they have fouled the most is Andrea Bellotti. Top-headed goals. Cristiano Ronaldo. This is why freaking Çalhanoğlu only has 2 goals, because of that. He is the number 1 in hitting the post bar and crossbars. Very, very interesting stats. All right, now let's look at the fixtures, because earlier Golden Boy and some of our friends were talking about the fixtures are very important coming up. So let's look at them. Match day 31. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games left. So Crotone, Udinese, they're fighting off for the relegation. Sampdoria, Hellas Verona, they're just fighting to stay in the Serie A, just that gray zone between 7th and 17th spot. Sassuolo, Fiorentina, same thing. Cagliari, Parma, that's going to be a big game for those 2 teams. Milan, Genoa at the San Siro should be an interesting game. But these games are the ones that we care about. Atalanta, Juventus, that's going to be huge. What do you guys think? What result would you like to see between Atalanta and Juventus? Would a tie be best for Milan? Would it be better for Atalanta to win or Juventus to win? And then you have Napoli, Inter. Again, so we established earlier that we would rather have Inter win this game, so the gap between the 5th and the 4th place becomes wider, and so we can relax a little bit if we don't get the result, right? If we don't get the result, Milan-Genoa, Inter, if Inter wins, that they would help us out. But what about Atalanta-Juve? What do you guys think? Who should win this game? Who should be better suited up? Lazio-Benevento, Torino-Roma. This weekend is going to be very good. It's going to be a decisive weekend. It's going to be a decisive weekend for the Serie A. It's definitely going to be a decisive weekend. It's definitely going to be a decisive weekend. Club chairman Paolo Scaroni. I heard Paolo Scaroni actually is not the club chairman. Vice President Franco Baresi. Guys, Franco Baresi is Vice President of AC Milan. Chief Executive Officer Ivan Gazidis. Council members Paolo Scaroni, Gazidis. Okay. Technical Area Director, the one and only Paolo Maldini. Brand Ambassador Daniele Massaro. Daniele Massaro was here. Daniele Massaro was one of the great striker for Milan in the 90s. Chief Revenue Officer, Youth Sector Director, Angelo Carbone. Wow. Okay. Marco Lomazzi. Interesting. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. Coach Pioli, second coach Giacomo Morelli, fitness coach Mangozzi, Osti, Peresuma, technical assist Bonera, Lucarelli, Pioli, Gianmarco Pioli. Oh wow, he's got his brother. Is that his brother? Goalkeepers. Where's Dida? I thought Nelson Dida was one of the goalkeeping coaches. He was supposed to be one of the goalkeeping coaches. All right, so final discussion of the day, guys. Predictions and Juventus Atalanta. What's best? So let's see. If Atalanta wins, they go to 64. If Juventus wins, they go to 65. If we win, we go to 66. So I think the best thing to happen is for us to win and Juventus to win and Inter to win. So the best solution, the best scenario for Milan is for the top three teams to win, and then create the gap. Create a bigger gap between 59 and 61, and have these three teams just keep on pushing for the Champions League, and then have these two teams here, Napoli, Atalanta, fight it out by themselves. So that's the best scenario, in my opinion. All right, let's see what you guys think. Even if Kessie only scored penalties, his presence is so crucial to Milan. This is why I don't go hating on players like Bruno Fernandes. Hakan. Tell him, Roy, let Hakan know. Yes, Mike. Left my ass out, and he won 6 million. I wouldn't even buy kebab for him. That's funny. Draw Juve Atalanta, personally, and Napoli lose. Inter. They would be best, especially if we beat Genoa. They would be best. Tie would be best, especially if we beat Genoa. If we want second place, tie. If we want top 4, Juve win. I'd rather get top 4 than second place. Draw. I'm confident that we can finish 4th. At least Gattuso usually stumbles at the end of the season. Well, we'll see. We shall see. All right, guys. So this brings an end to today's stream. Everybody, thank you very much for being here with me and for supporting the RossonARI TV channel. You guys are probably asking, where's Ari? Where's Aaron? Where are these guys? So, yes, Necklor, we've only won 6 games at home. Right, we were going through these stats earlier. It's pretty shameful. Our home form looks pretty disgusting. We can't really say anything else but no good. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe. As always, Forza Milan. So let's go into the predictions. My prediction for Genoa Milan. 6-1 for Milan. 6-1 for AC Milan. Theo Hernandez is going to score 2 goals. Kessie is going to score a goal on the penalty. Çalhanoğlu is going to score a free kick. And Rebic is going to score 2 goals. All right, Golden Boy. Thank you, Roy. I had a great night talking to you. We both love Milan, and I'm glad this channel exists because I really like your opinions. Thank you, Golden Boy. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for being here with us all the time, and I really appreciate your presence, and I appreciate all of you guys. Much love to everybody. Yusuf Shinkar says 0-0. Joel says 4-1 Milan win. Okay, guys, so remember, before I go, we are going to have, I don't know if we're going to have a watch along yet. We're going to see. Depends on who is available. But I believe Ari is back from his travels or will be back from his travels. So we are going to get the Ari RossonARI TV review for the game. We are going to get Mondays we have a podcast. We weren't able to do it this Monday. The Let's Talk Football podcast. Laert will be back here on Monday to get that going. And guys, vote for the RossonARI TV AC Milan squad. So Dida has one goalkeeper. So today we're going to put the right back position. I'm pretty sure Cafu is going to take it already, but we will see. 2-0, hopefully, Necklord says. 3-0 Milan, Leão ×2. Teo. All right, guys. Ragazzi, Forza Milan per sempre. We will see. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We shall see you in the near future. Ciao. Arrivederci.